Welcome back to Delta Green. This is episode 7 of season 1. This is Deep End. This is maybe a place and time where our agents here can figure out some details, because I think details are important. And details are life and death and investigations. I'm back here with Husky and Heron specifically. Our other agent, Craven, is sick tonight. And just, to throw it in there, just so he's not here for this episode, his character has had really bad radiation poisoning lately. So that's what's going to call him out of this of tonight's episode. So he is not here as we zoom in on the conference room table in the skiff, or this is the black site, also known as the green box, for G-Cell. And you were surrounded by G-Cell agents. You guys saved Grizzly last episode by giving him a lot of marijuana and getting the rest of the agents high as fuck off of some 70s Acapulco gold. And you guys weaponized marijuana and have figured out a really good plan, because through talking to Ziggy Astronomy, also on the town council, he was one of your... I guess you guys rescued him first, and then you brought him here and put him in a cell, and then you were asking him a bunch of questions. It wasn't really an interrogation, but he was freely giving up a bunch of details. But you figured out that he had an alien inside of him. And then you also figured out that the marijuana grown locally to Two Oaks is anathema to the aliens for some reason. So,
did we figure out that it was the local stuff specifically? I remember us talking about it, but I don't remember if that was a metagame or not.
Some metagame, I did tell you that it was extremely important to figure out which dosage and which place you got this weed from. But yes, in the long scheme of things, it is the local weed that is hurting the craw. So let's zoom in. You guys finished last episode with a skill up, like a level up here in Delta Green. So make sure that all your check boxes are unmarked at the beginning of this episode. It is a new day. It is Wednesday, the day of the town hall meeting that the sheriff told you guys about last episode. I think you had a plan to go to town hall and figure some things out. So we open up on this boardroom inside the skiff. The radiation dispensing scanner is here on the conference room table, and you've got Gabby, Gina, Gigi, and Grizzly here with you. Husky and Heron.
How many new day? Of these aerosolized dispensers did we make?
4, I believe.
Okay. And they're each enough to do a whole room?
So I think that the design was like an air mattress pump, a container. There was an incendiary device in there, and yeah, let's say it like a room, a large room. It could even fog.
Yeah. It was a great MacGyver moment. I do remember that.
It was good.
So, Heron, you down for this plan? What's going to be our game plan before popping gas canisters? We're pretty sure the sheriff's clean. We've dealt with him a lot, but I don't know about any of the rest of them.
Sorry, I came back from sound check.
All good. I'm assuming sound check's good.
You're a little bit quiet. You can come up another 5%.
Okay, thanks. That better? Oh, you can't tell from there. Anyway, so I was just asking you what your game plan was before we pop the gas canisters. I mean, do we think we're going to be able to get information out of these guys just by speaking to them? Also, the weed, or I hate calling it like that because it's not like they're actually just smoking weed. I mean, the Ziggy guy was, but like, it's something in it is suppressing the creature inside, but it's not going to kill them. So we could, in theory, capture them, right? Is that going to be our plan? We're going to interrogate them?
The way I see it, they run the town. The sheriff is part of them. I say we just go in and talk to them. Like, we have that just in case it does get bad. But if they're old timers, they're part of this town, so they should know some things. Like, they might have a couple of inklings about, hey, what's going on? And like, we could use their wisdom. They know the history of this town better than I do.
Well, that would make sense since you just got here with me. Although I'm sure you've studied a lot of those fancy books.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's my thing. Is I want to know the history of this town. Why is this place between these two mountains? Outside of the fact that we might be on top of an ancient, like, witch or an ancient unknown super presence that's either drawing an asteroid to us, or, oh man, there's a lot of things here. But yeah, I think we talked to them. We've got that just in case. Like, we don't need to like plant it and have a remote detonator. I think we just open it up because, I mean, it's not that bad to. Yeah. Plus, I've got a little bit of it inside of me. Oh man! But so, you're still clean.
You think we should open up with the canisters, or you want to try to gauge the reactions first? I'm just curious because there's Grizzly. How many town councilmen did you say there were?
Well, without Ziggy, now there's 5.
I mean, there's 5 of them. That's a lot of them to haul out of there. And there's going to be confusion because the ones that aren't turned are going to be panicking. So we need an exfil plan. I mean, I think this is a good plan, but I think we need to flesh it out a little bit. We need to go in there. If we're going to straight up just pull the gas out, and step 1, we need to make sure that the ones who are going to be affected by it can't, get their way out. Then we need to somehow incapacitate them, and then we need to get them into a vehicle and then exfil them to this facility, which we only have 1 cell. So that could be problematic. 5 of them in 1 cell. I don't know that they're not going to be strong enough to break that door. Alternately, we just kill them, which seems like a huge waste of an intelligence gathering opportunity because we still really need to figure what the fuck is going on here.
So Gigi, the French doctor, she says, so is the idea to, we're going to kill the lady that owns the inn and the sheriff? This is not a good plan.
I don't want to kill the ones who aren't affected. I don't actually want to kill the ones who are affected. I just don't know that we'll have an alternative. Can that cell hold the affected council members? Like, let's assume worst case scenario and all of them are affected.
I'm sure, yes, you could fit all 5 people in there.
And they wouldn't be able to break out, even if they had, say, superhuman strength.
It is built very strong.
Okay. Who's our best driver?
Who do you want to drive? Giggles can drive. he steps up. He's like, do I get to drive the sledge?
Since Hammer's in the John puking his guts out, yeah, you can drive the sledge. We just won't tell him.
I think his insides are turning out outside. Yeah, it's gonna be gross.
We also have the scanner, so if we could like sneak in and be in radiation suits because it's a bad thing, and just scan the 5 of them, that should tell us pretty quickly who's infected, who's not infected.
And when they're not infected, they get cancer as a side bonus, like a consolation prize. No, I don't like that scanner.
But it tells, like, you can see.
Call it Plan B. I'm relatively certain we're going to see a reaction. I'm not sure what kind of reaction we're going to get. They might be aggressive, or they might just be dazed and confused. Some of them may be like, where am I? Because if some entity has been controlling them and suddenly we cause it to regress, they may not have any clue where they're at, which would make her...
That's a great point. Like, have we seen, because Ziggy
He was constantly in that state. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
So you think after being high, they will maybe not be aggressive?
It's possible. Anything's possible. We need to be prepared for all eventualities. So my thinking is we go in there. If you want to lead with the gas. So what I was thinking was that we try to suss out a couple of people. Like if we get the sheriff on our side, if he's not infected, and we know he's not infected, we get him on our side. We've got a law enforcement person right there to help smooth over everything, which will help when we're dragging people out of City Hall into our unmarked vehicle. Because, you know, that's going to create a scene.
Yeah, the wrench here, says Grizzly, is that one of the town council members, that Gorza guy, he's like a super businessman, wealthy guy. He might have like security and shit. Like, yeah, get the sheriff on your side. That way you've got some law backing us up.
I think that's the best plan for the pregame, that we pop the canisters. I mean, I prefer not to have to kill the security guards that are just trying to protect their boss if we can avoid it. And Husky looks conflicted about that. Like he's like grinding his teeth a little bit, like, because, you know, he used to be a hitman, so his conscience is coming in and you can see a little bit of dilemma on his face. He's like, we probably shouldn't kill those guards if we can avoid it. But with that said, we might have to.
Town Hall is also a public place, says Grizzly. Not like there's going to be civilians there. There's also going to be the judge. Like, it's got the courtroom in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be problematic. But if we can get them exfilled and get them in here, we can get a lot of data. And that's what we need right now. So, Giggles is going to drive the car. We'll take Gina, Grizzly. Didn't we have a commando guy on this team?
He's beaten up.
Yeah, still recovering.
Oh. Well, it's going to have to be Gina, Grizzly, me, and Theo going into the building then.
So this is just happening like during the regular day.
Well, the town hall meeting, the sheriff told you, was at 3 p.m.
Town hall means like there's a bunch of people in the audience talking to the council.
Sorry, it's a council meeting. So it's like a closed-door council session where everybody was supposed to come together and have a conversation in like a conference room. But being a Wednesday during the day, they're going to have court in there, and they're going to have like treasurer shit in there. So there's going to be civilians in there right now. But you guys could, in theory, like it's a public place, so you could just walk in or check it out, you know, early. Or you could go right at 3 o'clock and just, you know, kick the doors in during the closed session town council meeting.
I wasn't thinking front door. I was thinking more like loading dock, windows, back doors. Loading dock would be perfect. They've got to have one if there's a court there because they got to do prisoner transports, but it's going to have a man trap in it.
I mean, that sounds like we should go there now and get a lay of the land.
That's another thing. I'm pretty good at laying traps. I could probably get into the vents of the room that they're using and set the devices ahead of time. And then you could just say, I have to speak to the council about something, and if we get the sheriff to help us out, he'll walk us right in, hit the button. Oh, I need a respirator because I'm not used to certain substances, and we don't know how that's going to affect people.
I'm sure there's a respirator somewhere around here.
I find a respirator.
Yeah.
I offer one to Theo.
Okay. Alternatively, like if we want to get the people out of there because we're having a big thing, we've got this big crazy gun and we've got these huge radiation suits. Like we could just be CDC, unknown illnesses here. Please evacuate everybody.
I mean, if we wanted to do that, we could just pull a fire alarm.
See, you're so much better than this than me.
But it's a good idea. As soon as the ruckus starts, we pull the fire alarm. Everyone's shuffling out of the building. Who's going to notice one more group? Also, fire alarms will disable the Sally gate at the loading dock entrance. As long as they build everything to fire code, which I'm sure they did, those doors have to open in an emergency.
All right, so I'll be fire alarm guy. You're going to be in the vents with the grenades, and you're going to listen in.
I'm going to go plant the grenades ahead of time. I'll be with you when you go in there. I'll put them on a remote timer or a remote detonator.
Can you like just leave a cell phone in there, or like have some kind of remote? Like, can we just listen in for a couple minutes before we just blast the doors open?
Yeah, we should be able to do that. Hey, Gabby, can you help me rig a couple of cell phones to these things?
Make them remotely go off?
To make them remotely go off, and one to listen in from the vents.
We have like bugs and stuff like that. We can do that with. We don't need the cell phones, but yeah, we can get this done.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I mean, we're used to working on a budget.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, we can do some active listening devices. We can hook these up to remotely and go off. Do either of you guys have a demolitions?
I do, yes. Pretty good one.
Go ahead and roll that.
Okay. Demolitions. Demolitions is 82. Get. Rolled a 5.
That's a success, so it's going to work.
Good success. All right. So, we're all clear on our plans?
Yeah, I might call the sheriff because like we hung out for a couple of weeks. And see if I can I just have one of those bugs? I'm gonna put it on his shoulder.
Sounds like a plan. You go deal with the sheriff. Tell me if you think he's going to be able to help us. While you're doing that, I'll plant the gas canisters. Giggles will be pulling the vehicle up, and Grizzly and Gina will be securing our path out and providing support.
That's a great plan.
Not used to working with a team. This will be interesting.
Do we do hands in? Go. Kidnapping.
It's I believe it's called Extraordinary Rendition. No Archer fans? Okay.
I like you don't mess with the special investigators. Little Reacher joke. Oh my gosh, you guys should watch that.
Oh, that's where that's from. Yes, I just finished the second season. Oh, no.
Oh, I haven't caught up. I'm missing one episode.
You don't mess with the special investigators.
I liked it. Other people I've talked to about it, they didn't like it. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
I haven't watched it.
What's wrong with you? I think you would like it. All right, so one of the plans is to drop Theo off at the sheriff's office. Is that correct?
Well, if that's where the sheriff is, I think that it's all one plan. We drop Theo off with the sheriff. He determines whether or not he thinks the sheriff is infected, preferably without using the scanner. But if you got to use it, get the sheriff on our side to help us pull this off. While he's doing that, I'll be planting the gas canisters, and Giggles and Grizzly and Gina and them will be getting all the support. Like, basically, they'll be getting all of our exit routes set up.
Luckily, the sheriff's office is actually pretty close to town hall, but you can hit it on the way.
This looks like it's a sheriff's office and a town hall. Or no, this is just the sheriff's office, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So you get dropped off in the front. You can come through the front doors here, Theo. And we're going to take... Yeah, there you are. Thank you. And you are greeted by a lovely blonde lady at this counter here. You see her?
Hi.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I don't have an appointment, but I kind of really need to talk to the sheriff.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you have a... Well, tell me your name and then have a seat. I'll call over and see if he's here.
Okay. I'm Theo. I've met him a couple of times before, and I know his daughter from the vet.
Okay, Theo. Yep, have a seat, and I'll call him up. So as you're sitting in the seat, this man comes out here, and he's looking at Diane. Diane's on the phone, and he's sitting there waiting for her to get off the phone as she's trying to call the sheriff. And he's sitting there, he's standing there next to the desk, and he looks over at you, and he's like, he gets like this expression on his face that he recognizes you, and he walks over, and he says, "Hey, I'm Detective Hawk." And he holds his hand out.
Hawk. I'm Theo.
Theo, is it? Theo Raoul?
Oh, you have me at a disadvantage. How do you know me?
There's an APB out on you, actually. You're missing. Your wife is, like, scared that you're dead. She sent a PI after you. He was just in here, actually. He was asking me some questions. So, you really ought to call your old lady.
I will. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna go call the PI and let him know that, you're here, if you don't mind. That way he could talk to you.
I mean, I'm gonna call my wife. You don't need to tell the PI. She's spending money on a PI. Sorry, that's wild. I told her I was gonna be. I guess. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. Wow, time really gets by.
Yeah, sure. I usually talk to my wife like every day, so I could see how missing a couple weeks she could probably call somebody on you. But yeah, give her a shout, okay? It's good to meet you and know that you're alive and everything.
Thanks, Hawkman, detective.
Yeah, okay. Just he goes back and Diane gets off the phone. She shouts over to you. She's like, "Sheriff's on his way," and then Detective Hawk goes in to whisper into Diane. They have a little conversation.
Hawkman, Jesus Christ!
You want to call your wife right now? Or you want to wait?
I mean, the sheriff's coming. I'll give her. I'll send her a text.
From the burner phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's the text gonna say?
Oh no, I have to think about it. Like I've typed up like, "Hey, it's me. I'm okay." And then I look at it and I go, "Wait, she doesn't have this phone. I'm a spy. I need to do this better." Oh man. And then I look back at my phone and say, "No, the PI is going to say that I'm okay." Do they have any like payphones or any like actual phones in here?
Yeah, this is an old... Well, it's actually a new sheriff's office, but yeah, they'd have a payphone. A public phone. It's not a payphone.
Yeah, I'm going to use the public phone. I'm going to give her a call.
It rings twice, and then a frantic your wife's frantic voice answers the phone, and she says, "Hello."
Hey, there's
Oh
been
my
a lot
God.
of stuff happening, but I'm okay. I miss you a lot, and I I might be doing the right thing for the first time in my life. I feel pretty good. I'm in a good spot.
You're calling me from a police office. What's going on?
I mean, you hired a PI to come after me.
Yeah, I'm worried about you. Higgins we're worried sick about you.
Higgins?
Higginston, the
Oh,
man.
yeah. Our patron guy. I'm sorry. Um, a police officer stopped me and said, "Hey, that you're looking for me," and there's a PI. You've thrown me off a little bit. I need to call you more. Like, I'm gonna find. I lost my phone. Like, we're out way in the mountains. Like, it's really cool and pretty out here, but cell signal is really bad, and I dropped one like way down into fell into a stream. But like, the music out here is just really cool, and I'm I think I might have found my place, but I'm doing really good. I just need to call you all the time.
Just once every, couple days is fine, Theo. It's not like we haven't talked every day for our entire lives, for our entire marriage. It's not like that. But it's, you've been gone 2 weeks, Theo. I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. Higginston hasn't heard from you. The school was calling, and I couldn't get a hold of you on your cell phone. I'm sorry. Maybe, call if you're okay. I was worried sick.
You have all of the rights to do all of those things. It's on me again. Like, I'm doing different things for the first time in my life, and I'm doing okay.
Are you going to tell me where you are?
Yeah, I'm in the mountains.
The mountains where, Theo?
You know that I was calling from a police station, right? So I'm in Twin Oaks.
Okay, so you are actually at a police station.
Yeah. I'm meeting the sheriff, like, for good reasons. Like, I'm doing great.
Are you on a dig? Is that what this is about? Are you Theo, are you cheating on me? I just need to know.
I would never investigate a archaeological site without you.
So you're not digging.
I'm not digging. I am in the mountains, breathing the fresh air, listening to the beautiful music, and not being overwhelmed by all of the paperwork and the constant grading that comes along with being a scientist. Like, you wanted to be a scientist to go digs and have a great adventure, not to teach kids.
Are you gonna come home soon?
Yes. Once the world is saved, I will come right home.
What are you talking about the world saved? What? Okay. Once your world is back and you can handle the stress of work, is that what you're saying?
That's, you know me so well. Once I have the mental capacity to deal with those kids, I'm going to have you come out to the mountains. We're going to spend a couple of weeks together. You'll see how pretty it is out here.
Okay, that's fine. If that's what you need right now, I can give you space, and you let me know when you're ready to get back to the real world, Theo.
Yeah, I could say the real world is out here, and the wilderness and the streams and the mountains and the space, like the skies, asteroids. There's so much pretty stuff out here.
Okay. Well, it was good hearing from you. I'm gonna call the private investigator and let him know that I've heard from you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. And you sound, outside of the fact that I had you really worried for a couple of weeks, you sound pretty good too. I missed hearing your voice. I'm going to call you more.
I would like that. Maybe we can work through this together, Theo. You didn't have to, go on a sabbatical without me. I've always been here for you, Theo.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for understanding and giving me the space that I need right now.
Yeah, I get it. You got a Whitman or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to go for the Emerson, but Whitman's, that's good too.
Oh, right, Emerson. Yeah. Okay, just take care, Theo. Don't do anything crazy.
Never. Oh, the sheriff's here. I love you. Have a good evening.
This morning. Love you too. She hangs up. And you're right, the sheriff is here. He just pulled up. You saw him through the windows. He's got a really nifty cruiser. He's not in his white Tahoe because it's been wrecked. But he pulls up, sirens off, and he comes in, and he looks at you, and you're on the phone. You just hang up, and he goes, Theo, what's up, buddy?
Can I have like 10 minutes of your time? I've got a lot of special stuff to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's head out to the truck. Let's go get a donut. You down for a donut? Let's go take a ride.
Let's go, sir.
All right, you guys get into his sheriff's cruiser, and you head down the street to Dr. Donuts. It's a chain restaurant. And
some would say their donuts are amazingly addictive.
Amazingly addictive. It's a chain sweeping the nation. What do you want to talk about?
So like Craw stuff. Infiltrations, how many of the council do you think are infiltrated?
Oh shit. Well, like I said, I didn't expect Ziggy to be infiltrated. Is that the word we're going to be using?
I don't know. Ziggy very specifically still had control of himself. I actually have a little bit of tainted DNA, and there's a lot of things that we're still trying to figure out. But infiltrated sounds like that's a pretty cool way of describing taken over by an alien being.
Sure, I guess. It's better than
Infested, which is a proper term.
Infested. Yeah, infested. Who said that? No. Wow. I don't know. If I had to put any money on it, they could all be infected. I don't really know. It's kind of mind-boggling to me, actually.
All right. Well, we found a counteractant to the infection/infiltration. It's locally grown marijuana. So again, while Ziggy was infected, Ziggy controlled himself. The Craw didn't control him, which is interesting.
Well, you said local marijuana, like the stuff they grow down at Green Acres? The marijuana farm down there?
Yeah. You're a very cool sheriff.
It's legal here to grow if they've got the right permits, and they got the right permits.
Awesome.
Anyway, it's really gotten a couple of those deadheads some jobs, so more power to them, I guess. I got bigger fish to fry. Anyway, okay, so that's interesting. So marijuana allowed Ziggy to keep control over his body?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What about like high dosage? Did you try any of that?
I think Ziggy tried his entire life of high dosage.
Okay. So what you're saying is if the people are stoned, they are not alien or under alien influences?
That's what we're hoping. Also, I have one more test I need to do. Can I borrow your knife that's sitting on your belt?
Sure.
You know that's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna prick his finger.
What I'm not diabetic or anything, but that hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Then I'd like to look at blood coming out of that.
It's red. American blood.
And then I prick my finger and I show him my slightly green blood.
Except it looks red to you.
Yeah, it does look red to you. Okay, so it's in the blood. You're saying that, like, you can tell if people are bleeding or not?
I
like
mean,
if they're crawl or infected?
my blood looks green, right?
It's a little dark. Yeah, it's kind of got a greenish tint to it. How infected are you? You got a thing inside your brain? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think so. I actually have this like ridiculously complicated radiation gun that can tell you exactly how far that is, but it's real dangerous. We've got a guy who's sick right now because of it, because he used it a lot.
Jesus Christ, where'd you get something like that?
I mean, you know, right?
Yo, okay. See, you got it from our friend?
Yep, I got it from our friend.
I'm kind of confused. And he does look a little confused. I don't know if he ever met G-Cell. He knows Gina, right? Yeah.
My notes say he's one of the cowboys.
Yeah, he is one of the cowboys, but he knows Gina is in town. He knows that G-Cell's in town, but he doesn't know, like, really who they're working for or anything like that. So don't go crashing secrets down.
So I said I got it from our friend because that was a correct statement.
Okay. Tracking. You want something with sprinkles on it? We're here at the drive-thru.
No, I like the cream-filled ones.
Excellent. I'm a old-fashioned donut kind of guy. The more it looks like the one from The Simpsons, the better. I like that.
I mean, historically, donuts were just supposed to be glaze and muffin base, but if you say historic accuracy is Simpsons, you could go with that.
He looks at you. Do you even like donuts, son?
I do. I could give you a whole entomology of where the donut came from.
That'd be interesting to hear. But right now, we're worried about aliens in my town, which I'm too fucking old to deal with. I'm just telling you straight up. So, okay. So you got this, like, crazy scanner thing, and you want to go to the town council and just start scanning them and make sure that, like, can we set it up, maybe have everybody in the town walk through it, and then you know who's infected and who's not? Are we going to quarantine people? Like, what's the idea here?
How much does the town council know?
About aliens? Nothing.
All right. How the town council has a lot of power in the town. It can do a lot of different things. We'd like to see who in the town council is infected, and if the crawl are driving huge town decisions.
Okay, so we get them rounded up. Oh, there's a meeting tonight at 3 p.m. We get everybody in the town council together. You scan them with your scanner thing, and we find out if they're aliens or not, right? That's what we're going to do?
And if they aren't aliens, they get a radiation poisoning, which is kind of bad for them, and we didn't want to go that way.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be real bad.
So our plan was to kind of marijuana gas the meeting and see who reacted in a strange way and kidnap them.
You know, I was going to say that's really stupid, but then I started thinking about it, and maybe it's not as crazy as you think right off the bat. You got to mull it around a little bit. You think about this.
Yep, take another bite of that Simpsons donut. I got some coffee here. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't have gotten coffee, but you should put a dip in the coffee.
So this donut gives me an idea. Why don't we make some edibles and we put them on the council room table and make cookies or something, and we get these people to eat the cookies, right? Then if they act all weird, they're an alien, and we capture them? You kill them right there, right?
We're actually trying to capture them so that we can see if we can learn something more about the crawl. And see if we can separate the actually infected crawl and give you back the regular human. Because that's probably good, right?
Look, back in my day, we just killed the motherfucker, and I think you're making this way too complicated. But I'm not in the program anymore. I'm out here trying to just save the citizens of Two Oaks. So if you can save anybody, that's definitely step 5.
You want to pull back through and get another, get a couple dozen?
Dozen donuts? No. You gotta make edibles from scratch. I think I know a guy. He owns the vape shop. He can do some shit.
Are you gonna go to Dave?
Oh yeah, Dave. He's fucking funny as hell. Everybody in town really, they just have to put up with his shit. Sometimes him and his best friend John, they do some stupid stuff, but it's mostly harmless kid stuff.
Do you want to get a big old box from the donut shop and then put the other stuff in it so it looks... Oh, yeah, that's a smart plan.
Oh, yeah, we can just mix everything together. I don't know, then the odds are bad that they don't grab a cookie that... I don't know. We can think about this.
Yeah. Get a fancy box.
All right, so now you're going to roll up with edibles, huh?
I'm going to... Yes.
Let's go back over to Archon. Archon, while he's been talking on the phone and getting donuts with the sheriff, what have you want to been doing?
Husky has a migraine and has no idea why. He's showed up at City Hall. He's stuck to the public areas until he found a nice access vent. He's a trapsmith, so he was a hitman. He's done this before, and then he found the meeting room that they meeting scheduled for, and I rolled a 3 for my trapsmithing, so he's planted his gas canisters, the remotes, the bugs, and he's face palming for reasons he cannot begin to fathom. It's almost like he's got this psychic connection.
Okay, so I love the plan. The back fence of this area is the fence where they'd keep some people awaiting trial. There's a desk, there's a tiny little jail cell, and then there's an underground portion of this too. Over here is where they would have the town council meeting. They're not there yet. Let me go ahead and move these guys.
Scoping out our exit was supposed to be Grizzly and who was the other one we brought with us? Giggles and one other person. Oh, Gina. Yeah. We brought the most combat effective people who are very authoritative and seem to know what they're doing.
And you want them to scope out the exits.
Yeah, basically their job is to, once we pull the trigger, is to have us an escape route that we can take. That was their part of it. My part was to plant the bug and the gas canisters. Someone else was supposed to just go fetch the sheriff, not tell him every little tiny bit of information he could possibly muster.
Got him on our side.
You just changed the plan without informing any other member of the team.
Love it. Love it.
I just increased the amount of marijuana everybody's going to have.
Okay, so what's your plan on getting in and putting the smoke trap in?
It's exactly what I said. It's a public building because it's got a courtroom in it. So I could just walk in the door and look for a vent, and then slide into a vent when no one's looking, crawl through the vent, and plant the traps.
Okay. Can you put on the map where you've put the trap?
So I would have looked at the directory and found out that this was where the meeting was scheduled to happen. So I would have put them in the vents in the ceiling above that. I have 3 of them. I'll plant 2. That's double redundancy because it should be... You said 1 canister was enough for a room. So if I plant 2, I've got a backup. And I've got more than I need in the room just in case one fails.
Roger, roger.
Of course, I'm double dosing them, not realizing that they may already be dosed. So, but I don't know that. I'm just doing my due diligence. Oh, I had some of those.
Yeah, I grabbed them off your table. I copied them, really.
These can be those 2. Here, I'll just set them over here on the side.
Give me a luck roll.
31. Way succeed.
All right, so you successfully climb out of the vent without being seen. But as you're like straightening up and dusting stuff off of you and getting your like 3 or 4 steps away from the vent, you're gonna run into... Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. You're going to run into one of the deputies that you've seen before. Ooh, those are THC smoke grenades. That's not what I wanted. It's the Deputy Hadley Best. And as he walks by you, he goes, I know you. I've seen you before. You were here a couple... well, not here, but I saw you with some other gentlemen. How have you been liking your stay here at Two Oaks?
It's been quite eventful getting to know your lovely town.
Ah, yes, it is lovely. It's lovely. You going to be staying long?
Actually, I'm hoping that we're going to be wrapping up our business here pretty soon. But I got to tell you, the whole landslide thing, very, very concerning. You don't suppose you know how long that road's going to be closed?
Oh, I think they've got it cleared up. I think they cleared it up last weekend, actually.
Wow, well, that's good.
Yep. Nobody's stuck here in Two Oaks. They can get out anytime. You have a good day, Mr. Well, I never caught your name.
Husky. And you too, Mr. Best.
Mr. Husky, you have a good one. And he kind of gives you a little nod and a salute, lets you walk on by. All right, so is your plan to wait outside?
Yeah, I am going to check. I'm going to check in with Grizzly and make sure that they've figured out our exit route and that everything is going according to plan. So I'll step outside. There's the front door. And if these 2 guys are standing here, I'll walk over and like, everything working okay, Grizzly? Got it all figured out?
Quickest way out of the room is through the window. If you got to drag somebody out, maybe the front door is probably the quickest. Around back, everything is locked up tight because that's prisoner entrance and exit. So a lot of deputies back there. I don't know if you want to tangle with them.
We won't have to. As soon as we pull that fire alarm, they're going to be busy trying to get all those prisoners out those doors. You can't leave them in there, so they'll be occupied. And can Giggles get the Jeep right up to this window? We could just throw them in.
I'm sure that Giggles can.
Excellent. I think that should be our plan. We'll just throw them out the window.
Sounds good. Where's your Heron friend?
He's supposed to have met us here with the sheriff. He's running a bit late.
Oh. Starving.
I send Heron a text message. Where are you at?
We're getting edibles.
Do what?
Yeah, and then we're just gonna have them eat those as they're having a little town meeting. And you can gas them whenever you want.
God damn it, he's improvising again.
Did you guys get professional agents for this? Agent Grizzly says. You guys all like pros? It's really, it seems like two of you are semi-pros.
Husky gives Grizzly a look at the semi-pro comment. And it's like, yeah, semi-pro. That's yeah, sure. I'll be back in a second. And he's gonna step away and call Heron. Your phone rings.
Yeah, Sheriff. Drop me off here. I'll walk in, and you can just you drive in with the edibles. All right.
Yeah, sure, that's okay.
Yeah. How are you? The sheriff's on our side.
What are you doing?
He's gonna put edibles out on the thing, and everybody can eat them, and they'll have more time to like ingest them, and we can listen in for a little bit longer. Or you could just gas it whenever you're ready, because that was the actual plan.
So I was hoping that you could meet us here and we could, go over step by step what we were doing, but I guess we're just doing this live now.
Well, I'm like 5 minutes walk away. I'll be right there. Oh, I can almost see you. Look, I'm the one who's jumping up and waving.
Okay.
Okay. So Husky looks at his watch. What time is it?
Let's say the time flies and you're having fun. What time do you want it to be?
Well, if he went and got edibles, I'm guessing it's pretty close to game time.
Okay, so let's make it 2 o'clock. Meeting's at 3.
Theo sees you look at his watch and just starts sprinting.
Yeah, so he said the sheriff's on our side. I was just planning on having to do quite an explanation because we've got all these, secret agent people he doesn't know about. So, kudos for, getting that done without any support. But my question is, how?
Yeah, he's not infected. I told him about the blood thing. I told him about the marijuana thing, and he said, "Oh, we should just give them edibles." And I said, "Oh man, that's actually like a really good idea." And then we went and told Dave, and Dave's a pretty funny guy. And then we started headed here.
Well, I mean, edibles, that's an experiment. We haven't done that. We don't know how that affects them. We have no idea if that's going to work or not. And
which is why you could still go with your gassing plan. He's just had a gutter idea that I'm always open into new ideas.
I just want to point out, knowing the people we work for, you just showed him you were infected. And he comes from a order of people that generally just shoot people when they find that out. I'm amazed you're alive.
I mean, he knows I'm a good guy.
Husky literally face palms. Okay. Fine. Let's just go do the thing. So our plan is to go in there with the sheriff. They're going to have the town hall meeting. We're going to be on the agenda to quote unquote talk about things. When our agenda item comes up, that's all the listening we're going to do, because I'm going to pop the canisters and we're going to see what happens to the crowd. Grizzly and Gina are going to help us get the people out of the window. So when we pop those canisters, I need you to go walk into the hallway and pull a fire alarm. Okay?
Got it.
Okay. Hopefully this all goes according to plan, but if not, you do still have your gun, right?
Yes. Yeah, here it is. I got the one with the sharp bullets.
Excellent.
Roll me an alertness, both of you.
62 out of 56. I did not pass.
My alertness is 57. I rolled a 76.
So neither of you passed.
Nope.
Okay. Cool. All right. So next step of your plan is to wait patiently for the rest of the town council to show up.
Yep. Well, and the sheriff.
Okay. So yeah, the sheriff comes in. I don't know if you want to wave to him or whatever, but he's got a big old box of donuts
we
and
need
other
to,
things.
We need to walk in with the sheriff. Because the whole point of calling the sheriff was that he was going to get us in without any fuss. So,
gotcha.
like, that was what we actually needed him for. So,
all right. So yeah, you'll walk up to him. He's got a big old box of confections with him.
How you doing, Sheriff?
Hey, good afternoon. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Things are probably going to be exciting this evening. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, that's what Theo was telling me. It's going to be pretty exciting. Why don't you come on in? So he enters, and he says, Diane, how are you doing today? You beautiful as ever? Diane says, oh, thank you, Sheriff. He goes, Diane, when it comes around like 3 o'clock, could you have people that are unnecessary to be here just kind of leave the area? And Diane's like, sure, Sheriff. He goes, Gorza might actually show up to this thing today, so we just want to make sure that he, he's comfortable. You know how he can get. And Diane's like, oh, yes, sir. Sheriff looks at you guys and rolls his eyes, and he's like, that's a big problem with having, multi-billion-daire or whatever the fuck he is here in town. He kind of runs the joint when he shows up. Then he sees Austin. He's like, Austin, how you doing this morning? Austin's like, I'm good. And he goes over here, unlocks this door. He goes, me and the boys are just going to go in here and clean up a little. And he comes in here, he closes the door, and you guys are free to walk around. You guys see Grizzly and Gina out there. They're just silhouettes against the glass. Boone comes over. He lays the confections on the table. He's like, I think I got a shit ton of, Dave said these were the best. Like 500 milligrams or some shit.
They're from Green Acres too, right?
Yeah. He said, he said you guys actually bought a bunch of THC oil. What are you going to do with all that?
The same thing you're going to do with the confections, just different mechanism.
Oh, you going to put it in the water supply, like the big water tower? It's a good idea.
No, I wasn't planning on drugging the whole town, just this room.
Oh. Damn, you got 50 gallons of it just for this room? Oh, shit, that's going to be a lot.
Oh, we've got some spares. So, Sheriff, the plan is to extract these people, assuming that they are infected, which we know some of them are. What about these guards you were talking about from this billionaire?
Yeah, he's got his own private security. He hires them through Gorza Tech, and I don't know. He's got a whole security team on his side.
How many of them normally come into the room with him, into the council room? Just like one bodyguard, or do they wait at the door?
No, he usually has the big guy with him. Usually, but I don't even know if he's going to be here today. Sometimes he just sends his secretary.
Well, that would be unfortunate.
Yeah, especially with this whole shindig. And maybe I should call him and see if he's going to show up.
Well, it's less than an hour out now, so it is what it is at this point.
All right, so you got confections, and we got other things. How many of these guys do you think are aliens?
Well, the billionaire, at least. Well, honestly, we don't know how many of them. We just know that the ones who aren't already infested are targets, and that includes you.
Well, what do I got to do to be not a target?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but we're going to be keeping an eye on you, and if you get in any trouble or anything weird starts happening, play it safe and give us a call.
Have a cookie?
Oh, and having a cookie will probably help.
You gonna get the sheriff of Two Oaks stoned? I figured this is where it was going to go.
Didn't you tell me 3 or 4 times already that it's legal here?
Yeah, but I shouldn't be doing it on duty, you know? It's like, I can't be driving around and shit. Anyway, he picks up a cookie and takes a bite, and he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm running an alien anyway.
We really had to twist his arm.
Hey, does this window open?
It doesn't matter.
It does open. You know, this cookie gives me some, like, I gotta get some water or something.
Do you do the meetings with the doors locked?
No, it's just a closed door meeting.
I am gonna be securing the doors. Actually, before they come in, I'm gonna check this back door. Does it have like a deadbolt?
It does.
I'm gonna go ahead and deadbolt that one.
Okay. Alright, so you guys prep this room as much as you can, and it comes to like 2:45, 3 o'clock, and the first person to arrive other than the sheriff is going to be Rodney Good. He is the owner of the hardware store, and as he walks in, he looks at the sheriff, and he looks at you guys, and he goes, "Hey, afternoon, Sheriff." And Sheriff says, "Afternoon, Mr. Good." Rodney looks at you guys, and he's like, I haven't seen you. Oh, wait, yeah, I saw you guys earlier at the hardware store. You guys were buying all sorts of tools yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were.
They got a bunch of, like, anyway, I appreciate when anybody comes into my store and buys a bunch of stuff. And man, you look familiar. He looks at Chad. It's like, Sheriff, does this man work for you? And the sheriff looks at you and, like, dagger eyes. And he's like, yes, Mr. Good. He does work for me. And Rodney's like, so you're a detective, right? You did an interview with me after the break-in at the hardware store.
Detective's an awful generous term. But yeah, I help the sheriff out whenever I can. Also, I stole some stuff from this room.
Okay. You're gonna have to tell me, like, what? You got, like, pens or books or, like, a stapler?
I'm really hoping there's, like, a key to the town mounted on a wall, and now there's just a plaque there. I criticaled on my stealth check, so I want the key to the town.
It's the back end of the key is cut like 2 massive oak trees, like spread out. Yeah, you got the key to the village. Oh, Mr. Good's like, well, it's good that we've got like special investigators then, I guess. And he goes and he sits down at the table and he's like, what do you think, Boone? I've got money that Gorza doesn't actually show up today. Boone's like, I have a feeling, you know, it is Wednesday. He might not show up. He might show up. We'll see. Rodney Good's like, I don't know. $50. $50 says he doesn't show up. Sheriff's like, nah, I'm not taking that bet. Next to show up is going to be Brandy Pocock, the owner of the Haven Inn. That's Rodney Good again. Why does my copy and paste not working? It's annoying. I'm going to do it the slow way. There she is. In all her silvery splendor, she kind of sachets through the door. She looks like she's on something. You want to give me a human int as she walks through the door?
Sure. I'm terrible at that, but I can do it.
Oh, actually pretty good at
Yeah, no, I did not pass that. But I'm going to go ahead and check that since I failed it.
At a 32 out of 70.
Ooh, I failed alertness earlier, too.
Theo, it seems like she's on, like, an opiate. As she sachets into the room, she's a little sluggishly moving, but she thinks She's doing really well, and she does a little twirl and then sits down in her chair, and she's like, Sheriff? It's like, Miss Pocock. She's like, oh, you guys are still in town? I thought you skipped out. You're not staying at the inn anymore.
Did we cancel our rooms at the inn?
No, I just noticed that you haven't been there in 2 days.
Oh. Yeah, we stayed with some friends, but we're keeping the rooms. We paid up.
Yeah, you're paid up. Yeah, paid up through the week. That's fine. Your stuff's still there, though.
Yes, we know.
Okay. Oh my God, are these brownies? And she like reaches in and she grabs one and she puts it, stuffs it in her mouth. These are delicious. Rodney Good goes, they do look good. Are these cookies here? Boone says, yep, they're chocolate chip. And Good's, oh, my favorite. He reaches in and he grabs a big old chocolate chip cookie. This is going pretty well for you guys so far. 3 out of 3. They're eating them.
Are they acting any differently now that they've had some... Well, it's going to take a minute for it to digest, so it's probably not going to be immediate.
It's funny how I rolled these. Okay, so the next person to walk in is a very attractive, dark-haired woman.
There's the secretary.
And as she walks in, Rodney Good goes, damn it, Sheriff, you should have taken me up. I would have gotten $50. And she says, I'm sorry if I'm late, but Mr. Ivan is not going to be here today. I'm just here to take notes. She sits down with a big notebook, pulls it out and starts to write like the date at the top of it. She goes, I'm actually late for another thing, so if we could get started on this. Boone's like, relax, Janie. She goes, fine. She looks at the box of Ooh, Jesus Christ. She looks at the box of confections and she's like,
she body tackles Rodney Good and says, get out of the way, those are mine.
Those are mine. Are those brownies? No, she eyes them like, deep down inside she wants one, but she's not going to eat it. She's got a lot of self-control.
Not for long.
Anyway, she pulls out the notebook and she says, can we get started? And Boone says, hey, we're waiting for Braxton. And then we'll go ahead and get started. And so, last but not least, Theo recognizes Mr. Braxton Coleman, the man who sold him moonshine on the first day here at Two Oaks. As he walks in with his big old cowboy hat, he goes, how's everybody doing tonight? And everybody's like, Braxton, you're late. He goes, I know it. You know, a wizard is, whatever. He sits down. He's drunk. But he was the one that was selling moonshine, so that's probably not surprising. Braxton Coleman sits down at the table. He looks at the confections and he's like, you know what? I think I will. And he reaches in, he grabs an oatmeal cookie and he starts eating it. These are delicious. Did Bambi make these? Boone says, no. A friend made them. They're a little special. Braxton says, they taste special. Keeps eating it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started.
Chad gives Boone the, is that everybody look?
And Boone nods at you.
Okay. Chad's not going to waste too much time. He's gonna listen, but he's going to start making his way over towards the door so that he can be close by while they start talking.
Thea's going to lean over the secretary's shoulder and say, can I have one with sprinkles, please?
She smells so good. As you reach over her.
That's creepy.
You can't help but look down her cleavage. it is like it draws you in, and you forget halfway that you want a donut with sprinkles, and all you can think about is nipple sprinkles. But you grasp forward and grab a donut and pull it away. But as you walk away with your donut, you think about her lips. Like it's dangerous what just happened to you.
I thought I wanted one with nipples. I mean, sprinkles. Oh my goodness. What if she just bit that? And I walk slowly back to my seat.
Okay. I'm just waiting to see what they're talking about.
So they go ahead and they start with the sheriff. He pulls out. He goes, "The Virginia DMV has cleared the landslide up on the North Pass. The road is going to take a little while to get redone, but for now it's traversable. It's little things like the number of stores have had an increase in sales. It's things like that. General town stuff. Taxes are due."
Chad is going to stealthily turn the deadbolt and then hit the detonate button.
All right, so that's this one here. It goes off, and just this massive fog cloud of very.
And he puts on his respirator while looking at Theo, who is consuming one of the laced food items, and just you can facepalm with a respirator on, right?
You facepalm while putting the respirator on. Just smack it to your face.
Theo puts his cookie down and picks up his mask and looks out the window.
So Janie screams. Braxton, he exclaims. He stands up. He goes, "Something's on fire!" His chair gets knocked back, and he looks over to Boone, and he's like, "What's going on here?" Boone, he looks at you guys that you put on respirators, and he's like, "Aw, this is gonna suck." So he takes big lungfuls of very dank, skunky weed.
I'm watching the secretary to see how she reacts.
She screams. She swivels out of her chair and stands up. She tries to back away from the smoke. She bumps into Theo. Theo, her shapely body bumps into you, and it's all you can notice.
Pardon, miss. I'm so sorry.
He says, "Pardon, miss," and I taser.
She's in yeah, he's in a respirator. "I'm sorry, Marissa." And then you tase her.
Yeah, because everyone else ate the cookies. She didn't eat the cookies, so he's like, "If it's gonna be one of them, it's gonna be that one."
Give me a firearms roll.
Sure. Oh god, I'm gonna hit you, Theo. I'm so sorry. I rolled a 93, and my firearms is good, but it's only an 84, so I miss.
So the incoming fog cloud obscures your vision. You've got the respirator on, but you just right as everything is just being super obscured, you pull the trigger, and it doesn't seem like it's made contact with either Theo or Janie. But she's bumped into Theo. Theo can feel her on him. She hasn't moved from there. Braxton stands up and he goes, "What the hell is going on? What the fuck?" And Sheriff rolls into the corner underneath the fog. You guys just can't see him anymore. Rodney Good stands up and he's freaking out. "There's a fire! There's a fire!" And Brandy, she is wide-eyed. She's so stoned right now on all of the cocktail that she's taken before she got here, and now this.
I forgot to ask if there's a fire alarm switch in this room.
Yeah, there's definitely a fire alarm switch in this room.
Okay, well,
central to your idea.
I will, as they start to react, I will pull the fire alarm so that they can think there's an actual fire. Unfortunately, the Janie chick is going to have to come with us because all the rest of them are stoned as shit. And they're not reacting. Well, can we do human int checks or something? Can we tell if they're acting?
Go ahead, give me a human int check on the room in general, and I'm going to tell you Who seems most confused?
Okay, well, I failed that one worse than the last one, so it's all on Theo.
I rolled a 10. So
yeah.
I sense it.
Braxton Coleman is reacting the way that you thought a craw losing control of someone would react. The other guys are like, there's a fire. Rodney's like very active in this situation. There's a fire. Somebody helps. And Brandy's high, which is kind of how you would assume a human being would be reacting in this. Braxton stood up and he goes, what is going on here? Like, where am I? He looks scared. His eyes are very wide open saucers, and he looks like he just came out of a fugue state to you. Also, you've got her bumping and grinding up against you, and you are backed into a corner, my friend.
I'm going to try to separate them because that shit can't... I think I know why it's happening, and if it doesn't affect me, then I definitely know why it's happening.
So you move across the room, Chad, and you grab her by the arm, and she looks at you in the eyes, and you can see, like, deep into these pools of... Look, her eyes are just beautiful, captivating. But you grab her, and you, like, squeeze a little bit, and you're like, come on! Where do you want to take her?
So the smoke, is it you said it's obscuring vision, so people can't really see what other people are doing. I'm going to tell Theo to get over there and grab Braxton. Yeah,
as soon as you pulled her away, my hand points straight to Braxton and goes, he's being weird. And I'm going to call to him and say, hey, Braxton, come here. We're going to get this window and you're going to come through it with us. And I walk over and help him that way.
And as they're doing that, I'm going to cuff up the secretary and throw her out the window.
An athletics roll.
Okay. Come on, Dice. You've been mean to me all day. Be nice.
I know, right? We need some good.
Athletics isn't a skill I have. Oh wait, no, it is.
It should be.
Okay, and I beat it. Okay, cool. I succeeded. Just barely, but I got it.
So the idea is to like bodily throw her through the window?
Yeah, it's basically like zip cuff, and like, so Grizzly and Gina are supposed to be like waiting for this to happen. So they're supposed to catch her. I'm not trying to hurt her because she might be innocent, but I doubt it.
So you throw Janie through the window.
I mean, I open it. I open it first.
Oh. Okay.
I open the window.
You kick open the window, and the window opens up, and the cloud of, Snoop Dogg fog rolls out. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, Giggles has backed the sledge up, and Gina and Grizzly are there with the door open. Throw her in! And you throw her bodily into the back of the sledge. And Gina and Grizzly look at you expectantly, like, is there anybody else?
Yeah, and I'm like, there's one more, and Theo... Braxton's coming willingly, I'm assuming.
Okay, so Braxton's reacting as though somebody with severe dementia. He's confused and stumbling, but he's guidable, right? He hasn't like really freaked out yet. Theo is guiding him out, and he gets to the window and he looks at you guys and he's like, "Who are you?"
Can I give Theo an assist by saying, hurry up, get out, the building's on fire, get out the window. Maybe we
This is the weirdest dream I've ever had.
Maybe we can get him in without a fight.
He gets into the back of the sledge. He's like, are you guys here to rescue us? And Gina and Grizzly are like, get in the fucking car. And like throw him in. He like gets on top of Janie. And you guys... What do you want to do now? You've got them both.
Let's get in the sledge and haul ass.
Theo's going to take one step back and grab the rest of that box and then jump into the sledge.
Oh my God. All right.
Nice. All right. The sheriff's going to stay here and try to cover your tracks as you guys peel away in the sledge. The fog of marijuana behind you, wafting in the breeze. And where are you headed? Back to the green box?
Back to the green box. We got to put these guys in a cell and get the interrogation started and see if we can get their unwanted friends out of their skulls. Assuming that's what the secretary is. She got weird shit going on.
So we drive down through Two Oaks and to the warehouse.
Just as a point of clarity, was I affected the exact same way that Theo was?
You guys haven't really talked about it, but yes. You, like, got lost in her eyes for a second.
Okay. She's getting blindfolded and, like... She's getting as sensory deprivation as I can make her. In the back of the van with the supplies that I have.
Theo and Braxton are holding hands, and Theo's like talking him through like he would a small child. Like, hey, first you need another bite of this cookie. Like you're doing good. Your name is Braxton. You like to make moonshine. I had some. It was really good. We're here to save you.
What? I mean, if you want to have this conversation in the back of the van, that's cool.
No, I'm just keeping him calm.
Okay, but yeah, he's like, I'm Braxton Coleman. I'm 81. He's not 81. This man is like almost 90 years old. If that's the case, he might have lost a lot of time. That's going to be your first inkling here. And
I'm going to say, hey, what year is it? Who's the president right now?
Reagan.
Reagan?
Excellent.
Holy shit.
Have another bite of this cookie.
Maybe he already had dementia when he got infected. All right.
So you guys are going to take him and put them in, both of them together in the cell, right?
Because we don't really have another option, right?
Yep.
Yeah. With that said, this secretary lady is like zip cuffed at the wrists and the elbows and has a bag over her head and has like one of the hazmat suits wrapped around her so you can't touch her bare skin at any point. And the knees.
Did you put all that stuff on her?
Yeah.
Give me a power roll.
I'm using gloves. I'm treating her like she's hazmat.
Good. So give me a power roll. Willpower points.
That's actually a pretty damn good roll. But it's not good enough because it's willpower and my willpower is 7.
What's the ×5 for the willpower?
35.
Power 35.
Yeah,
okay.
Power.
Yeah,
power
okay.
roll.
Yeah, so 35. 24 is what I rolled.
So you passed.
Okay.
So you've got her zip cuffed. But when you were zip cuffing her, you're like, her skin is smooth and silky, and like you're thinking these thoughts while you're doing this instead of I need to get her zip cuffed. She's dangerous. You still have those, but it's afterwards.
It was the gentlest zip cuffing of all time.
Yeah, right?
Maybe she even's like, ooh, while you did it, and you're like, God damn it.
You're like, nope. Gotta get this dangerous package packaged up.
Right? Okay, so yeah, she's zip cuffed in the corner with a bag over her head. Her shapely legs are, there.
Also zip
Coleman,
cuffed.
right? Braxton Coleman, he's at the door with his hands on the bars. He's like, I don't understand what's going on right now. Are you with a hospital or is this an abduction? He's terrified. He has no idea where he is.
You're not being abducted. We need you to be in the safe spot right now. My hands are right on top of his hands at the door.
Okay.
Trying to keep him calm. So Reagan is the president, and you're doing really good right now. Thank you so much for staying here with us.
I don't think that's right. I think it's probably Clinton. Clinton's probably president now. What's going on? Can you tell me what's going on, please?
Do you remember making moonshine and giving it to me my first night here?
I've never seen you before.
Okay, that's very good. It's nice to get all of that. Well, my name is Theo, and you said your name is Braxton. You're 81 years old.
Braxton Coleman. I've lived here in Two Oaks most of my life, and
are you part of the town council?
No, I'm not a part of the town councils. No.
What is your job? Are you just retired?
I'm a librarian.
Oh my goodness, I love books. What is your favorite history book?
I like I like books about the Civil War.
Civil War, that's fun. And it's got a lot of cultural significance because of the area that you're in right now. How many cool Civil War battles happened in Two Oaks?
There wasn't too many battles fought in Two Oaks, but I like photography was just a budding thing during the Civil War, and there's not lots of books, but there's books about a certain Civil War photographer that I like. What does this have to do with why I'm here?
You are. You have a disease and we need to keep you isolated. I have a little bit of immunity. That's why I'm here talking to you, and I just need you to stay nice and calm.
Okay. It smells like skunk's ass in here.
Oh, he needs to eat these cookies too.
Yes. Have another cookie as we're talking.
Okay, let's reconvene in the conference room. Mr. Coleman, you just sit down and we'll be right with you. We're going to help you out, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Don't touch the lady in the corner either. She's more contagious than you are.
He looks over and licks his lips and then goes and sits down.
Chad kind of wants to see if Gina reacts to the lady in the corner.
Oh, okay.
Just want to see if women are immune.
We can make that short. She is not immune.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay, so I don't know how we're going to handle hazmat over there, but let's talk about it in the conference room.
All right. We'll be right back, Mr. Brooke Coleman.
So, I think Braxton's infected. Pretty sure about that. I'm not sure about the chick, though. What do you guys think? I've never seen a reaction like that.
I've never had a reaction like that. I went to get a cookie over top of her, like trying to encourage her to have a cookie, and I thought I was getting sprinkles, but I ended up saying nipples, like right into her ear. Like, what? How did you put those handcuffs on her? She's so pretty.
I'll be honest with you. I thought that she might be trying to do some crawl stuff to you because you had crawl in your blood. I was halfway through doing what I was doing when I realized that, I have the same problem you did. So she's something else.
I mean, does that make her a witch?
She could. Well, we know there's different forces at play here because, G-Cell was brought in here for a completely different objective than we were. But I still think we need to try to see if we can get information out of Braxton. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do that with him in his current state. He was talking about being in his 80s. Like, it sounds like he might have been infected for a decade or more. Maybe 2 decades. Which means that Crawl's been in charge for a long time. So I have a couple of concerns here. I think the only way we're going to get information out of the Crawl is to let him take back over, but I'm not sure how that'll affect Coleman. And Coleman's also really old, so any kind of invasive medical procedure to remove it, well, could be bad.
I was kind of thinking we figure out the last thing he remembers and know when he got infected. That's kind of helpful, but that's still not getting information from the Crawl.
That's not the information we need. The information we need is what the Crawl's objectives are, and I think that the asteroid that we've heard about in these classified files that G-Cell's working on is related to what the Crawl is doing. I think the Crawl's spaceships are possibly a thing that we need to get access to. So really, that's the kind of information I want to get out of them, is where are the damn things? How do they work? Stuff like that. What are their objectives here? How does their technology work? Other people they've infected?
I would like to offer up a possibility of the girl. She may be more tied to our side of this investigation than your side, maybe. Maybe she is part of the cult instead of anything having to do with the Craw. So We have seen in the past the cult has had sacrifices. You guys have said that the red-headed woman was like doing witchy things. Maybe I think you're on the right track, Theo, that this is a witch. Agent Gina, have you had the same reaction that the men have spoken of? And Gigi's like, or sorry, Gina's like, yeah, there was definitely a reaction. So it's probably magic, maybe. Grizzly's like, well, the safest thing to do is then to walk in there and just plug that bitch. Witch, right?
She may also be a source of information, although I will admit that I am concerned. I did notice that if you're not in direct contact with her, you don't seem to be affected, so you could probably observe her through cameras safely.
Also, her boss is a billionaire. We should probably search her for bugs and tracking things.
That is
Gina
a valid point.
hands over her smartwatch. She's like, I took this off of her. It's a smartwatch, her cell phone. Her cell phone's like, the latest iPhone. The smartwatch is an Apple smartwatch.
I'm assuming this facility is shielded.
Yes, but just in case, I'll put it in a Faraday box.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, let's talk options, people. I'm not ruling out the going in there and plugging her option, but I think that should be plan B. And I'd like to hear any options you guys think for getting the crawl out of Braxton while still getting information out of it.
Well, we could always just see what happens when the crawl takes back over. Stop dosing him, and the crawl will eventually come back online, right? And start controlling him again. Then we're going to get a completely different reaction. Maybe he'll kill the woman. I don't know. It's a completely unpredictable reaction, really. If he knows, like if the alien side of Braxton knows that now he is captured, and he has been an alien for 20 years controlling Braxton, he might go into flight or fight, or he may react early.
We may also be old enough to know every bit of information we need. Is there any way to let the crawl take back over and keep him sedated, contained, so that he can speak but not necessarily do much else? And I've seen firsthand they can be rather strong.
I mean, they're also like alien bodies inside them that they can then come out and are still extremely strong.
Yes, but the problem is I don't know that the alien body can come out and speak.
Oh, they're telepathic, though.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want the full-blown telepath worming its way into your mind.
Oh, man. The girl said that the crawl aren't that smart. But she also kind of is a crawl, but she's a special type of crawl. So we're going to paralyze him from the neck down and then get him unhigh.
That's not a terrible idea. Do something to interrupt his motor functions. Because the crawl still has to drive him like a car, and if the car doesn't run... It's risky, but that's not a terrible plan. Gigi, you're a medical expert. What do you think?
Epidural.
Yeah,
Fifth spine.
That's what I'm thinking too. We could do... he is an older man. He doesn't seem like he's got a lot of body mass, but you could strap him down on a table, give him the epidural in the spine, and basically paralyze him from the neck down. And then we wean him off the marijuana. That should actually go away in a couple hours on its own, or we can, give him a lot of food and he just eat it out. I don't really know the effects of marijuana too much, except what you guys did to us.
I was about to say, you want a cookie?
I'm good for right now.
So that'll take care of what we do for him. I think for her, we need to build some sort of like self-contained glass box, for lack of a better term, where physical contact and pheromones or anything of that nature can't leak through. And then we'll just talk to her. She may cooperate. We don't know. She won't. We didn't exactly give her an opportunity.
We
You
can
guys
also
give me a
squirt her
luck
with that radiation gun.
Could do that.
You could absolutely do that. The other thing is that whoever needs to talk to her, whoever talks to her needs to have other people watching them through cameras, just in case I'm wrong about that glass box working.
I rolled a 6 on my luck roll.
96?
A 6.
Oh, okay. So that's a pass.
Out of 50, yes, that is a pass. Out of 40, oof, I'm not very lucky.
How about you, Husky?
Did you ask for a luck roll?
I did. Can you give me one? You should pass it.
I rolled 36 out of 88.
Okay, so this is what happens. You all turn and look at Agent Grizzly, who's been staring slack-jawed at the monitor of the camera, looking directly at Janie. He's drooling a little bit, and he realizes all of you guys are looking at him. He kind of snaps up and like shakes his head, and then he takes the stapler next to him, and he's like, "I gotta go do something." And
Nope.
he walks into this other room, and you hear with the stapler, and he goes, "Ow!" And he comes back, and he's like, there's something wrong with me. I just stapled my hand. What the fuck? What the fuck?"
I'm guessing that her abilities work through monitors.
There's something wrong with my head. And he like puts the stapler down. It's on the table now. It's like I've never had anything like that happen.
Okay, so I really didn't want to resort to the just killer option, but if we're going to start losing control of people even through monitors, I'm not certain we can afford to take this risk. I'm open to any suggestions.
Grizzly says, I think we should let her out.
You don't get a vote.
Can I put on the radiation suit and I'm going to go scan her?
That's always an option. You get the radiation suit out of the suitcase of radiation suits, don it. Agent Gigi would help you. And then you pick up the scanner. Where did the scanner go?
Husky's going to babysit. He's been carrying it with him.
Okay, good plan. So Theo in his radiation suit with the scanner comes up to the door. As you walk around and see her again, give me another power roll.
Rolled a 44. My power is a 45, so that's a critical success.
Wow, that's fucking awesome, dude. Okay. As you round the corner and look at her legs, which are really like the only bare thing. Well, no, she's got bare arms and stuff. Anyway, you start seeing like maybe the hint of like a varicose vein. Something like yeah, it's something under the skin.
I'm ogling the legs, going, "Oh my goodness, that's so smooth." And then a vein shifts a little bit.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, gotta scan that."
Like, I'm here to scan. Got it. And I point the scanner at her.
She shifts under the beam of the scanner, like shifting uncomfortably. Your scanner beeps and it says 0% craw DNA.
It's all 100% human DNA.
Yeah, 100% human DNA. But there's something off with it. The age is way off. It says that it should be like the cells of a 200-year-old.
She's a hag.
She also I don't know if you ever tuned the scanner to have anything to do with the smoke from Gertie's bathtub. Like, Gabby had a sample of that. You analyzed it last time. Let's just say that the scanner can now look at that stuff too. And Janie has trace amounts of that.
It beeps. It says 100% human. I go, and then it says 200 years old. Then it says also trace amounts of Gertie smoke. And I go, yep, she's a witch. And I look around for the cameras as then I lean in and I say, hey, Mr. Coleman, we've got a plan to get you better. You just keep having those cookies.
He's staring slack-jawed at Janie.
Actually, you want to follow me? And I open the door and I can take him with me.
Where are we gonna go?
We've got a medical procedure that's going to help cure you of the thing. And I close and I lock the door.
I don't want to go, he protests, but he's such an old, frail man that you're gonna take him with you.
I know she's pretty.
She's beautiful. She's drop dead gorgeous. I've never seen a woman like her. And as you like pull away, he starts screaming more and more. I don't want to go. She's just so beautiful. Where are you taking him?
I mean, just in here for right now.
You meant to grab Gigi, right?
Oh, did I? You're not there? I thought you were babysitting.
I am babysitting. I'm yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm intentionally not looking at the monitor. I'm babysitting.
I'm going to say you sit right here. We're going to prepare the medical table and we will make sure you're all right. I'm going to sit and I'm going to chat with him.
All right. Gigi grabs all the things that she needs, and she pulls up a gurney, because I don't have a medical table. Yep. All right, so a gurney falls out of the floor, or on a wall, or something like that. It's just a locker opens, a gurney falls out. She pulls it over.
I'll be right back.
Sets him up on it. Braxton, you're going to feel a slight pinch. And she inserts the needle into his spine. And he's like, ow! I'm scared. Gigi's like, it's gonna be okay. And she looks at you and kind of gives you like rolling eyes. Like, it's definitely not gonna be okay. This man's gonna probably die. And he's laying there on his side as the epidural takes effect. And Agent Gigi's like, okay. Braxton, I'm gonna roll you over. And then she rolls him over, and then she puts these massive straps over his legs and torso, pins his arms down, and Braxton gets like this really scared look in his eyes. It's like, what are you doing to me? What's going on?
This is just the medical procedure. Like, you're doing really good. Those cookies are helping you stay nice and calm. And I need you to remember the last couple of things that you remember.
I think I'm really paranoid right now. I don't know what's in those cookies. This is really scary.
I understand that it's scary, sir. But again, like, you've got a very contagious disease, and we're isolated right now, so that we can make sure that you get the treatment that you need.
Okay, so you gonna? Well, what's next?
We're going to talk for a little bit. I'm going to ask you about like the last couple of things that you remember, because it looks like you're having a couple of memory things, because Clinton is no longer the president.
What year is it?
I'm back.
Tell me what year it is.
And I look up at the security camera and I go, it's 2023.
2023.
It's 2024.
In game for 23. It's Wednesday. I think it's still July or August now. Still have 18 months before that asteroid hits. If we take this day by day, of course you guys are going to win. Because you guys can beat an asteroid.
We're going to get a rocket ship out to it and mine its minerals.
I love that idea. And like, you've got Gabby who works for NASA. She was part of the DART mission. She could definitely give you some heads ups. Okay, so Braxton kind of guffaws that it's 2023. He's like, Hal, I don't remember. Oh my God, it's 40 years.
40 years. Oh man. Did you go to sleep 40 years ago and just wake up, or were you doing something weird?
Weird. What was I doing? I was feeding the horses. So I told you I used to be a librarian, but I worked up at the horse farm. You know, there's a lot of trails and stuff here in Two Oaks. So I don't make much money as a librarian. Anyway, I was feeding the horses one night, and there's a green light. I followed it. I don't know why, but I looked up, and I remember, no, it was like an egg inside, and then a worm. Does that sound right?
Did you willingly eat that egg and worm?
I was inside the egg, and I was given the worm. No, not given. I was forced. It's still in me, isn't it? That's why I've been missing these past 40 years. Holy shit.
We're going to do our best to get it out of you.
He starts crying. It's a big emotion for him right now. This is 40 years. I've been a backseat driver. No, not even driving. I don't know what. You said I made moonshine for you? I don't even know how to make moonshine.
Do you remember being a dog?
But what? I was not a dog.
Oh, you were a real early one. Were you another creature?
I don't know what you mean.
All right. So you just went to sleep, and then 40 years later, you were in a town hall meeting under a fire, and you followed me into a van.
Yeah, I woke up just a couple hours ago. I mean, yeah, fire.
Yep. Well, I'm just going to keep small talking him until he starts to wane off the drugs.
So your small talk lasts for 45 minutes. And he recites pretty much the same stuff that he used to have a family. He doesn't even know where they are now. He used to have a job and friends, and he's wondering, like, what happened to all those people. And over 45 minutes, his high kind of wears off. And then you see him, he stops talking, and he starts to, like, struggle with his eyes as he's, like, losing focus and looking around, and he doesn't respond to your questions anymore. He's, like, panicked, and then his eyes refocus, and his neck snaps over to you, like, he looks at you, like, pointedly, and he's like, where am I? Who are you?
You sold me moonshine, right?
At this point,
Theo, right?
Seeing that happen, Husky's going to turn off the monitor for the cell and be like, we should all go into that room and try to get these agents to come in here for part of the interrogation.
Who are you really? You're not I did sell you moonshine, but
yeah. And my name is Theo. What's your name?
Braxton Coleman.
Do you remember being a librarian?
I used to be a librarian, sure. I used to do a lot of things.
And horses? You like to keep the horses for the trails?
Yeah, when I was younger. A younger man. What is this? What? Why can't I move my legs? Am I strapped down?
We think you've got a bad disease.
Bad disease? I don't have a bad disease. Get me out of here. You can't keep me like this.
We need to know how long you've been controlling this guy.
He looks at you extremely, like, he stops, struggling, like, looking around and trying to shake his head. He looks at you and he's like, what are you talking about?
I think you know what he's talking about.
I mean, just like all of the kids, we need to know about the dig site. Where are you guys digging?
So this is it then. The jig is up.
Well,
Yeah,
you
if
could you could say that. I mean, we know that you're a crawl. We know that you've been here for considerably longer than at least any of the ones we've encountered so far. We know that there's some plan in place. We know that you have starships with additional crawl that you've been infecting people with. What we want to know is, what's the plan? What's the dig? Does it have anything to do with the asteroid? We just want to know everything you know, and if you help us, you can live. That's desirable, right?
I can call you an observer if that's more to your speed.
No, I'm not yet. I've never ascended. You cannot call me an observer, actually. Once I ascend, then I will be an observer. But until then, I'm not. What do you know about the observers?
Let's talk about ascension. What do you have to do to ascend?
Ascension comes with sacrifice. You must gain the knowledge for the whole. I have not gained enough knowledge for the whole. The observers, they measure. And until you offer your measurement to them, you cannot ascend. You cannot be observed. Sounds fucking ludicrous to you guys.
The Crawl built the starships?
They are cross ships.
That wasn't what I asked.
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
The Crawl built the starships?
Yes, they are cross ships. The Craw built them.
So you're taking over this town and digging up what exactly?
An energy. Deep down, under Two Oaks. It is almost awakened.
Awakened, so you think it's a life form, sentient energy.
Energy can awaken. It can be observed and measured. We are here to take it. I am here to help the observers.
And you've been doing this for the past 40 years.
It was not always awakened. The observers have only been here half that time. Maybe less. Yeah, it wouldn't actually be, it would only be 4 years.
Where's the dig site?
Deep. Deep under. I've never been there myself.
Do you have a ship?
I am not ascended. I do not have a ship.
How do you contact the Ascended if you wish to be measured?
Sacrifice.
So if I shoot you, they'll show up.
I don't. He just stares blankly at you.
Is that the correct kind of sacrifice?
It is a sacrifice of energy. A sacrifice of energy calls them.
Interesting.
Hey, what does this do? And I pull out a crystal.
A piece of the old one. That is magnificent. Treasured.
Can you tell us what the old one is?
It's a being that I wish to be. A being of making for you. A being older than this world. Being one day we might see again.
Is that who you're trying to wake up? Is that the Hollow God?
No. No. The Hollow God is energy. Dark and old. Trapped under the mountain. I didn't find it. It was not me, but the observers. They've placed us strategically here to continue the brood while they dig. They'll get it. And then they move on. And when they move on, I will be ascended. I will join them.
How do you detect this energy?
Raw detect the energy.
So you can feel it.
You can't feel it? Humans.
I said you can feel it. So you said crawl, detect the energy. So you can feel it. You're drawn to it.
I can feel it. Can't you feel it? It's dread. It's doom. It's dark. Energy.
Does it have anything to do with those artifacts, the old ones?
What artifacts do you speak of?
I point to the crystal.
That is a piece of the old one.
Piece of the old one. So that's a part of a being?
Yes.
Is it his teeth?
Yes.
Oh, I told you it was teeth.
If you can call them teeth.
Come on. What about this big stick?
Another part. From the spines.
What's your real name?
I've never had. It's Braxton Coleman. I am Braxton Coleman. Braxton Coleman.
Do you know where Braxton Coleman is right now?
I believe I'm under a warehouse in Two Oaks.
Do you know where the other Braxton Coleman is?
You mean me? I'm
He means
here.
He means the personality of the person you were before you were Braxton Coleman. The consciousness that inhabited this body before you did.
The human is still in here somewhere.
That is what I thought. You can tell exactly where you are at. And yet you can't tell where the energy is, but you can feel the energy. It's very interesting. I'm very curious about this energy and these observers you're talking about. Can you tell me more about them?
No.
Well, that's a shame. I thought we were going to be friends.
Hard to be friends when you're not going to lit me up. I'm still here strapped to this gurney. So I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of this deal.
Do you know Diana Simpson?
The little girl. She lived in the valley.
Yeah. She had a really cool favorite music. Do you know that?
He searches back in his mind. Baby metal.
She could talk in a pretty cool way. Can you do that?
He thinks into your mind. And he's like, you mean telepathically? But he says it in your brain.
Oh, God. Sorry, that happened really fast.
It is a much quicker way to communicate, he says into your brain again. It hurts. It's like he's yelling.
It almost echoes. I just start shaking my head.
I see Theo doing his migraine thing, and I'm just looking over and like, is he in your head?
Yeah. He's screaming. It's pretty loud.
Close your eyes for a second. Does it work both ways?
I take a big deep breath in and I think really hard. Can I do it back to you?
Give me a POW check. I just want to see how loud it is. Loud.
It's 53. I failed.
Oh no. So you don't see any reaction from Braxton, but he thinks back to you and he's like, this is a perfect opportunity. So Braxton thinks to you of a storyline, okay? Like from beginning to end, you're going to see this unfold. The Big Bang, and then millions of years of universal evolution, a home planet that looks much like ours, and the evolution of life therein on that planet, which happened to be deeply underwater and was mostly marine life. You see the entire species history of this squid-like cephalopod rise through the ranks of this planet and become the dominant species, where it becomes this hyper-intelligent being and moves on to the stars. It is billions of years of history among the planets. They were one of the first. You can see the origin of this species, basically. And Braxton's like, we've been, we will be, forever. And when the stars are right, humankind could come with us. Let me ascend. Let me become an observer.
I hold out my hand and grab Chad, and I open my eyes after seeing a million years of evolution in front of me. And then I hear, let me ascend, let me be our observer. I say out loud, I think he wants us to kill him, but oh my God, I got a lot to process right now.
Are you all right?
There's stars, and I think I saw the entire evolution of his, or thought it, or felt it. I, I. Oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe I need one of those cookies. So Braxton Coleman, do you want us to kill you so you can ascend? Is that what you want to happen?
It's a sacrifice of energy, not my energy.
So how do you plan on ascending then?
I must gather power. It's hard to explain. You humans can't feel it, but I can. And once it's gathered, I can sacrifice it, feed off of it, and change. Break from this husk and ascend.
What happens to the husk?
This form falls away, as an eggshell might.
So this energy, that's the thing you're digging up, and you want to sacrifice this energy so that you can ascend. What about the others? Will they all ascend, or will it just be you? And what happens to this town when you ascend and dig this up?
The energy under the mountain is not what makes me ascend. That's what the Craw, by large, are after. In order for me to become an observer, I must ascend through the sacrifice of power I've gathered. It is the similar concept, but on two completely different scales. The power underneath the mountain is on a scale of planetary proportions. Enough power for the entire Craw to travel beyond.
And if they were to do that, what would happen to the planet?
You would be left behind.
The other individual that was in the cell with you, do you remember her?
She was very beautiful.
You don't know.
I remember.
You don't know what she is?
She's a perplexing human. She's Janie, Ivan Gorza's secretary.
I suspect she's Ivan Gorza's keeper. But that's just a theory. So, there's no way you can help us then. It sounds like you want to ascend, and truthfully, I would have been willing to help you with that, but I'm not willing to allow whatever power you're digging up underneath the mountain to shed this planet like an eggshell. That sounds probably bad.
I think it was just him. Braxton Coleman's going to be shed like an eggshell.
Yes,
He's
but he
just
said
gonna
the
pull a little
process.
bit.
He said the process was the same. Also, so if you could help us in some way avoid the planet being destroyed, I might have helped you. Are you sure there's no way that you can help?
You want me to prevent the ascension of the Craw? The gathering of the energy below the mountain?
Well, if the ascension of the Craw and the gathering of the energy under the mountain will kill people here, then that is something I would like to prevent. But if you could personally ascend, That would
My
be
personal ascension requires sacrifice on a smaller scale. But once I'm ascended and an observer, I can contact those digging under the mountain and plead your case. Is this satisfactory?
that would require a level of trust we haven't established yet, but I'll consider it. Let's give us some time to think about that. Is there anything else that you think might be useful to our deliberations?
When
Ichi speaks up and says, "Do you know if the asteroid is coming to destroy the planet?" And Braxton Coleman, he goes, "Well, yeah, the asteroid's coming to free the energy under the mountain. If the crawl don't get to it first, that itself is going to wipe out humankind."
It's interesting. Earlier, when I asked if you knew anything about the asteroid, you didn't seem to know anything.
It's supposed to hit here, right?
It is.
Sorry, did you ask Braxton Coleman the alien or the original Braxton Coleman?
My first line of questioning when we talked to the alien was, do you know anything about the asteroid or the woman? And he said he didn't know anything about it. Well, actually, he went on a techno ramble. He went on a mumbo-jumbo ramble, which was meant to be very dramatic, and was, but didn't give me any useful information.
Yeah, sorry. Then yes, he does know about the asteroid.
Okay. So... Sorry, that just completely derailed my whole line of thought. Theo, what do you think?
I'm going to ask him one more question. Are you the crawl or the observers calling the asteroid in, or is there another alien entity that's calling it in?
I think the energy itself under the mountain is calling me.
Because you said it woke up in the last 4 years.
That's right. Well, the Crow have been digging for the last 4 years.
Is there any way to neutralize the energy?
With the Crow siphon it, let us.
And if the Crow siphon it, what happens to the planet?
It is empty.
That doesn't seem like a very good thing for the people living on that planet now, does it?
You could ascend with us. What would it matter?
We'll call that Plan B.
I know I'm being frustrating on purpose.
Okay. We're going to talk amongst ourselves for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm kind of strapped to a gurney.
So, Chad's going to have a sidebar with the team.
We just scoot him into a corner and then walk to the other side of the room.
It's just a quick. I wish I could come up with a diplomatic solution for this, but I think we need to find a way to neutralize that energy and blow up the asteroid. And the asteroid problem, I think, is a practical problem that we could probably solve. The energy wave, though, so like every kind of energy has a opposite. You know, fire, water, etc., etc., etc. Hot, cold. If we can find a way to neutralize the energy, it may solve both problems. But we need to be able to detect it first. He can feel this thing. Is there any way we can figure out how he detects that? Also, Theo, you you have a extra gift.
Yeah, every time I do it, though, it hurts my head, and it makes me just a little bit more crazy.
You also now have a bit of DNA from them. Can you not feel this energy?
I don't know. Let me give it a shot. And I close my eyes, and I reach out my hands.
Give me a sanity roll.
$14 out of 33.
So you passed. Okay. So you justify in your mind that you have alien DNA inside of you that may allow you to feel some sort of energy deep underneath the mountain. And as you're coming to terms with this inside your brain, you feel a tremble or a vibration definitely coming from your feet. Like, you can feel it in your feet and in, like, through your shoes. And now that you've felt it, you can't unfeel it. And it's like, it feels like ants are, like, running up and down the bottom of your feet, tickling you.
I'm an anthropologist who goes on digs. Like, this is the excitement that I feel before a dig. And I, like, just instinctively go, like, all right, cool. Like, I've done this a couple of times before, just in the field where I immediately take my shoes off and try to get closer to the ground because I feel this energy. And I'm looking around and I go, I think I can feel it. I don't know if it's me or if it's the alien DNA that's inside me somehow, but I think I can feel it.
I suspect it's the DNA, and I thought that might be the case. Gigi,
So, like, sorry, for, like, a flavoring thing. Everywhere feels warm except the area you want the energy to be. The energy is a cold sensation. And it all is drawing to a point deep, deep underground.
Gigi, do you think you can get that crawl out of Braxton without killing either of them?
Have we looked at him with the scanner yet?
Somebody get the radiation suits.
I'm still in my radiation suit. Oh, I gotta put my shoes back on. Hold on. Oh, you guys are a nice distance away?
Yeah.
And I get real close to him.
The growth that is in Braxton Coleman's chest is a squeamish mass of, like, tentacles. You've seen a craw before. This thing is beyond adolescent. It's almost the exact same size as the one from the ship. You feel like the epidural has affected this thing immensely, which is the only reason why it hasn't broken out of Braxton's body and, like, gone fucking ape shit. The scanner tells you that Braxton Coleman's human body has been completely taken over by this craw. It's got its little tendrils in every facet of Coleman. It will not be a simple job of just cutting it out.
So it says like 75-80% craw DNA.
Yeah. There's very little keeping Braxton Coleman human at this point.
Scant says he's more craw than human.
I don't think we can risk keeping him in this state. Eventually, the crawl will overcome the anesthesia.
Yeah, why?
Are we going to let him ascend then? Says Agent Grizzly stepping in.
Yeah,
Okay, so if we let him ascend, what energy does he sacrifice to do that? Because he hasn't really given us an explanation of that. Is the energy just that he kills Braxton and ascends, or do 15 people in the town suddenly die and he ascends? He has not explained how that works in adequate detail to make me trust him. Truthfully, I'll trust him even if he does do it cleanly, but I'd be willing to take the risk.
He said it needed to gather energy, and
yes, but he didn't explain how any of that works.
I don't know. Like, I feel the big, deep energy that he's talking about, that the entire crawl can get. I don't know if I can feel the little energy.
I don't need you to feel the little energy. I needed him to explain. Like, he has not done a good job of convincing me that it's worth the risk. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if he is willing to come back with his spaceship now that he's ascended and let us ride around in it, that'd be pretty neat.
Sure. What makes you think he's going to do that?
Gabby's like, we have 18 months before an asteroid hits. If we can use a spaceship to save the planet, I mean, how badass would that be?
It would be awesome. What are you willing to sacrifice to do it?
Well, if it's 15 people, I'm sorry, but even if it's 15 people.
That's better than 6.5 billion.
What if it's everyone who has a little bit of crawl DNA in their system?
Then I wouldn't get a ride in the spaceship.
Neither would
What
it.
if it's just Agent Hammer? We just feed him Agent Hammer, right? We're talking our friends, our family, our future. We could just...
Okay, question number 2. What makes you think he's going to keep his word?
I mean, that's a good point, too. I've never known one of these things, and I don't know if it lies.
Also, it might help us stop the asteroid, but it's still going to let the crawl siphon the energy, which it sounds like will kill the planet just as dead.
Well, that's, maybe we need to do some research, says Agent Grizzly, into what could be below the mountain.
We definitely need to do that. But as soon as he realizes our intention is to neutralize that energy, he's not going to help us. So I'm torn here. First off, he said let him ascend. I feel like if he could have ascended, if he could have just snapped his fingers and ascended, he would have done it. So he's going to need something.
Nah, that's a really good point. If he hasn't ascended yet, and he's been here 40 years, then maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, there's something here he needs to do, and I'm betting it's not pleasant because no other part of this job has been.
I mean, he's over there. We can ask him.
So, by all means, try to get a straight answer from him.
So I'm going to take my shoes off again. I'm going to feel that energy. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to say, hey, so I think I feel the big energy. How do you get little energy to ascend just yourself?
You have to collect it from around you. It usually comes from living creatures or things with a lot of soul behind it. I don't know how else to describe it to you, human.
Are you going to kill Braxton Coleman, the human that you took over?
I am Braxton Coleman. I will forever be Braxton Coleman. This is a symbiotic relationship between a crawl and a human. And I will go on, ascended as an observer forever and ever, until the stars are right.
But Braxton won't, because he's still somewhere in your consciousness.
Braxton's here with me. I am Braxton Coleman, and we will be together forever.
Do you have to gather a couple of the dog people? Because some, we've seen a couple of dogs that are actual human souls put inside of dogs. Is that you preparing for ascension?
That's a crawl experiment. Some crawl might prefer dogs to humans. I could definitely see why. So certain dogs will come with us in the ascension as well.
And that's just there's a craw inside of the dog instead of inside of the human.
It's the personality of a human inside of a dog, which then we will crawfy.
Cool. Well, I'm still for you ascending, but I need a little bit more details. Like, are you killing 15 people?
It's
Just sucking the souls out of 15 people.
if you put it that way, yeah.
What about one 200-year-old one?
It's all about scale.
Yeah, we can just give you a witch to eat and ascend with. Will you come back and visit us after you're ascended?
Well, I would hope so. That is part of the deal, right? We trade you the witch and your ability to ascend, and in exchange you help us go stop that asteroid.
This seems a suitable deal.
I think it's pretty fair, assuming that witch can give you what you need.
Can you feel her energy through the walls, or do you gotta see her?
I've seen her. She's been at all the town hall functions that Gorza didn't want to make it to, and there's some that he was at. I don't feel her energy now. I didn't know that she was something else, really.
Well, I'm willing to. Do you need to see her to feel that energy? We'll roll you back there, see if you can feel enough energy from her.
He's just, as he's going it, Chad's getting all the parts he needs to make one of those explosive belts. Oh no, he already has some because he built some for a hammer and
Yeah,
Theo.
I remember that.
I'm gonna put with that explosive belt on Braxton and be like, if this is something that'll work out, we're going to take you out of the anesthesia, but you're gonna need to wear this belt for me.
No, I get it. Yep, it's a leash. All right, so do you say that she's a witch?
Medical scan says she had 200 years of DNA on her.
I don't feel it. She doesn't seem like anything, really. But I am upside down on a gurney.
How would the consumption happen? I've never seen it before.
It's messy. There's a lot of regurgitation involved and fluids. So it is told. I've never done it myself.
Do you need to be outside, or can you go through the roof? Oh, please don't break our roof.
If he's turning into energy, matter probably doesn't matter.
I think I'd just step out of this dimension, if we want to put it bluntly.
All right, I'm actually all for this plan. Theo, you sound like you're on board.
Yeah, let's take him back and get his epidural out.
Okay. Get his epidural out. I think it just needs to wear off, right? Or do
you gotta unplug it from the spine.
It?
Yeah.
And then it wears off. It's still a time thing.
Well, that's the sedatives that go with it. The epidural actually blocks nervous system signals, which is actually really complicated. But Gigi can get them all fixed up.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Yep. She's a good doctor. Belt around Braxton's neck. He swings his legs over the gurney and stands up. It's a very human kind of reaction to like see him, but he's jumping like on the tiptoes. He doesn't look like he's 80. He's been piloting this body very, very well.
I put the belt underneath his armpits because I know the Crawl's head isn't in his head.
Okay, it's around his chest then.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you've belted this old man around the chest.
He's an old senile man. Nobody will think it. They'll think it's a fashion statement.
Part of the leash, Grandpa. Don't worry about it. So you don't run out in traffic.
Yeah.
All right. So, and he kind of does like this little stretchy thing. He goes, "You guys want any moonshine before we do this?"
I'm good.
Always. Where's your stash?
I got it back at the lodge. We're gonna have to leave to go get it, though. We could just do this now.
Yeah, it's probably more important.
I don't know really how long this takes. I've never done it before, so you're gonna have to excuse me.
Chad leans over to Gigi. Record everything.
Yeah, she looks up on the camera.
She's probably psycho enough to enjoy it.
I open the door for him.
All right. He steps through. Are you going to lock the door back?
Oh, yeah, closed and locked. And then I'm going to stare longingly at the girl's leg before leaving. I'm going to say good luck.
Give me a power roll. Yeah, just say it. Go ahead and give me that power roll.
I mean, it was in there, and she's so pretty.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
28. I'm okay.
Oh, good. I don't have to stun gun him.
Right? All right, so you guys are watching on monitor. You're not watching live, right?
Nope, I'm watching on monitor. I have a feeling I don't want to be in that room. It sounds like it's going to be messy.
So on the monitor, you see Braxton Coleman, older gentleman. At least his body is. He's piloted over to Janie, who's been sitting on the ground, patiently handcuffed, not moving, not saying anything. Very strange to just sit there for the hours that you've been working with Braxton. She hasn't moved at all. And Braxton walks over, and he's like, I'm not reading anything off of her anymore. You sure she's alive?
She was alive when we put her in there.
Miss, you see him like touch her. I'm gonna eat you now. And he like touches her again. It's like, come on now, I'm not really joking. But she doesn't move at all. And he looks up at the camera and shrugs. And he's like, can we get a doctor in here? He walks over to her, like puts his hands around her neck. And he's like, I don't get this. This isn't a person. I'm very confused. What are you doing? Is this some sort of trick? He looks back at the camera.
He had to make a POW roll when he looked at her. So
Yep. He did.
I don't know, try it. You hear over there, I push the button. All right, just try it. It's probably good.
Okay. All right, so the front end of Braxton Coleman's face zippers down, and his face opens up. These tentacles start prodding outward. Braxton kneels on the floor, and there's like white goopy liquid coming down his split skin. As these tentacles writhe out and wrap around Janie, and they start like wrapping up towards her face and mouth and underneath the bag. And Braxton's like, oh, you can't even talk right now? So like, I guess telepathically He's gonna link up with... Actually, both of you give me a power roll. Let's see who he can connect to.
23.
98.
All right.
I passed.
Now the question is, Theo, do you want to connect to him?
Yeah. Theo's open for things.
All right, so Braxton Coleman's voice comes over your head, both of you. No, Archon does not want it. And you feel him say, this... She's not reacting at all, but there's something inside of her. And he, like, reaches into her mouth, and this tentacle goes down into her esophagus, and it gets all goopy as this... Well, Braxton basically folds inside out and devours Janie's body. And there's this metamorphosis that happens, and it takes a little while. There's like a cocoon, and you can see something like inside of the cocoon shaping and morphing and getting bigger, and then out pops the Craw that you guys have seen before. Let me pull him out. Not the Craw, but like, you know what I mean.
A full-grown adult Craw being.
Yes, a full-grown adult Craw being. And now you have it inside a locked room. Braxton Coleman and Janie are gone. We'll put them over here. Telepathically, you feel Braxton Coleman's voice as he says, I am an observer. As he pops out of his larva, I don't know, what is it called? The metamorphic sac?
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis, thank you. Tentacles writhing, ooze all over the place. He crawls out of his sack, and he's like, you have held up your bargain, or end of the bargain, up until now. You gotta let me out.
You can't just descend through the ceiling? I think back.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. And he just disappears. He folds himself into another dimension.
See you later, I guess. Maybe.
Hope he didn't take the dementia with him. He had to be reminded he could fold into another dimension.
He's ascended now. It's the first thing he's ever done.
All right, well, hopefully that doesn't backfire terribly. It would have been nice to have interrogated the other one, but she was too fucking dangerous. And I feel like there's a 50-50 shot he actually helps us take care of the asteroid, which is one of the two problems facing us. Now that we know that we can track this energy, Theo, you and I are going to have to figure out where this thing is and how to counteract it. Also, I'd like you to work with Gigi about seeing if there's any sort of technological way we can detect it. Maybe you can help her and Gabby figure out how to detect this thing.
How to hot coal feel very deep down in the earth energy. Yeah, we also should probably figure out what those witches are doing.
Yeah, if they are all like that one, we're gonna have to kill them with sniper rifles.
I mean, the redheaded one. Oh man, did we see her ever before?
At the bar.
Did you get the lovey gubbies for her?
Nope.
But she had a flaming deer with her.
I really thought that Hammer just set that on fire.
And then there was the like baby sacrificial pits at the old building that we blew up.
Yeah, but we don't really know who that's related to. That could have been Crawl related for all we know.
Who's how? What? Baby side? You're talking about the mummified body of the child?
No, we found 13 of those in a circular thing at the old sawmill.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been Crawl related. It could have been related to their cult. I'm not sure which. I know they've been trying to summon this asteroid, which
You think?
Well, that's what they said when we dealt with the creepy lady in the basement with all the smoke that you took a sample of.
Oh, Gertie.
Yeah.
They're summoning the asteroid. So that means they're being controlled by the energy in the middle of the mountain?
That's my running theory. I don't have enough evidence to back all that up, but yeah. So I'm thinking we take out the asteroid and we work on at counteracting the energy. And that's how we resolve this.
I look at the scientist ladies and I go, supersonic frequencies. No, subsonic frequencies, because those will travel deeper into the ground. Do we have like that kind of technology here?
No, we were looking up, not down. What are you thinking? Like radar?
I mean, if we could harness the reverb of the subsonic energy, we might be able to know where it is. I mean, I guess we could also walk around it and figure out exactly like where it is, where I could be more above it. Because right now, are we directly above it?
This whole valley is crisscrossed with old mining shafts. I mean, you could like that map over there says 20 or 18 different mine shafts were owned by Gorza Tech. If you want to go and explore all of them, I have no idea which one would lead to this energy.
There's been mine disasters for the last 100 years, like all the way back to 1902. I saw that in a book somewhere.
So the energy underneath Two Oaks affected these mine collapses? Made these mine collapses happen?
Maybe they have crazy stories of people going crazy in the mine shafts and witches going into the mine shafts to eat people and just not ever coming back. But that could be Crawl too. No, that's got to be witch. Yeah. It's hard to keep them apart. I think the witches. Oh, who's the really rich guy? Gorza. I think Gorza definitely is a witch because his secretary was a witch. So he's definitely not Crawl. I don't know if I put it.
I think she was controlling him.
You think the witch was controlling Gorza, not the other way around?
Yes, I think that.
I guess we should reach out to the sheriff and see if he can call Gorza now.
And what are we going to say?
See if Gorza acts differently.
Does Gorza live locally? We should find that out. We should try to observe him, but without him knowing that anything's happened to her, and see what happens.
Yeah, let's get on the internet and find Gorza's location. Get in some ghillie suits and go through the woods and spy on him.
So we would like to search the internet now.
Okay.
Like directed microphones.
I'm sure they've got all that stuff here.
They do. They have all that stuff. Can you guys give me a roll for this research you're doing.
Can I use my bureaucracy score?
Sure.
We're going to the town hall.
I just got on their tax page because everybody's got to pay taxes, and I got a 27 out of 60, so I passed.
Okay.
And I found the tax records.
Yeah, so Gorza Tech owns a bunch of different companies. And some of those company names pop up a couple times, like throughout the history of Two Oaks. Mainly in the mining section, but now Gorza Tech says that it just changed its direction to aeronautics. So there's some shift within the company. Ivan Gorza has been the owner and operator his entire life. The man is ancient, and there's no like real place that you can get Ivan Gorza's age from. But on his own Wikipedia page, it says that he's on the Two Oaks Town Council, and he lives in Two Oaks in a very, very large house. And it wouldn't take very long to find his house and all of the businesses that Gorza Tech owns, which is like in the 5 to 6, like it's a handful of business here in the valley. He could be anywhere in the 6 or 7 different locations here.
Let's start at his house.
Good deal. So the plan is for Chad and Theo to don ghillie suits, night vision goggles, the scanner.
We can take that approach. That's not going to hurt us too bad. Well,
what's your approach? Sorry.
Well, I mean, Theo said ghillie suits, and we can take that approach. I won't use binoculars. I'll use a sniper rifle if we're using ghillie suits. But we can go get up in the hills overlooking his house and look in that way. I would have chosen a closer approach, but this is not a terrible plan. We'll do it that way.
Okay.
We are going to pick up my car so that I can have my gear.
Okay. Cool. So I'm trying to find the map here.
I've never had that problem before.
I know. Sorry, so you're gonna take your car? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because I have one of those special trunks that has all my gear in it.
We could rent a gator or a 4-wheeler.
No, they make a lot of noise. You wanted to go out in ghillie suits, so we're gonna go out in ghillie suits.
Just gotta walk. That's a long way to walk.
That's what I was saying. Like, it's also, we're gonna be really far away to observe from, like, a hilltop. Like,
yep. We got a parabolic microphone. Yeah. Pointed at the windows.
You get the parabolic microphone. I'm gonna spoon a 50 cal with a thermal scope.
I got a microphone and a set of binoculars. I'm like, all right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to spy on the guy, right? And you go, yes.
That is exactly what happens. What? It's better to have it and not need it. Need it and not have it.
You know what? I do not want this map. Sorry, I forgot that I changed it at the last second. I'm going to go with this one, which you've seen before, but it's okay. All right, so you get your ghillie suits on. You go out at night. You go to the place that Wikipedia says is Gorza's house. It's this massive mansion up on the hills. And you're scoping it out. Give me luck rolls, please.
Gonna scope it all night long. I rolled a 9.
Rolled a 24.
Both of those successes.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
So you're glassing the house with the scope. You're seeing private security here that's crazy overfunded. All of them are equipped with body armor, and they all have advanced, like, paramilitary weaponry. They have the house pretty much locked down with regular patrols. This is like one of those Hitman levels where if you do one guy wrong, all of them are gonna, patrol around and eventually find the thing. There's also going to be tons of places to hide bodies and things like that. And Ivan Gorza pulls in as a passenger to a limousine about 9 o'clock at night, if you guys stay here long enough, which it sounds like that's what your plan was. So he pulls up and he gets out of his limo, and he's talking on a very tiny cell phone, and he seems extremely agitated. You guys point the parabolic mic at him, and he's saying, "Well, find her. I don't care how far you have to look. You find Janie, and you let me know where she is. That's what I pay you to do." And he hangs up the phone, and he's walking into the house. He's surrounded by bodyguards, but there's one bodyguard in particular that stands out. He looks like he's half Hulk, but he walks in with Mr. Gorza. Let me show you what Ivan Gorza looks like.
Use the thermal scope to keep track of him so I can tell Heron what window to point the parabolic mic at.
So you lose him a little bit in such a large room, and he goes up, and he ends up sitting in this back room. So you can glass him because he's got like this huge window back there, and he's sitting up there. He's got his bodyguard up there, and he's eating. It looks like he's eating dinner, basically by himself at a table. He looks upset, and through the microphone, you hear him, and he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do without her, Michael." And you hear a big fucking voice, and he's like, "We'll find her, Mr. G." He's like, I hope so. I'm going to go out of my mind without Janie." "It's okay, Mr. G." That's kind of the conversation you guys are hearing.
I mean, I could go either way. He's old enough that she could have been doing something to keep him alive, or he could be like her, or she could have been controlling him. And these are all the thoughts that are going through Husky's mind as he absentmindedly clicks the safety of the rifle on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off.
I mean, are you going to pull the trigger and test it out to see how immortal he is?
I'd hate to kill him if he's innocent. Ah, God, this whole conscious thing is a bitch.
So, is he controlling her? He's older than her? Oh, man, we should have... How long that scanner... Oh, that could have been a thing.
1 point.
But he looks a lot older than I would have thought.
I mean, judging from the tax records, he's probably... If he is one of them, I wouldn't be surprised if he's as old as she is. If he's not one of them, then they got to him at a very young age and are probably doing something to keep him alive. Which means that I don't need to pull the trigger, because she's not here, he'll probably die. I don't know. It doesn't feel like shooting him is the best option at this course.
The history books always mention ladies, especially red-haired ladies. Actually, very specifically, it mentions one red-haired lady. That lady did not have red hair.
She did not. She read as 200 years old on your scanner. Hey, that scanner can't shoot this kind of distance, can it?
I was just thinking that. We don't have the right suits on. It's going to hurt us.
We probably should get some better suits. Also, I wonder if we could jury-rig the parabolic microphone to that thing and use it from that range.
You're going to go inside this deck that we kind of don't know anything about and see if it'll go onto the...
I'm not going to do it. I don't know how to do that. It's just a thing we could do. We probably would have to go back to the green box and get things sorted professionally and then come back and try it again. But we know he's here.
Or came here once for dinner by himself and he's mad that the lady's gone. Which, I mean, is understandable.
Well, as long as we don't shoot at him, he's not going to know anything's wrong, so he's not going to have a reason to run away. I mean, if you want to, I could off him.
You just so quick. I guess we found it out. Like I don't know. How do we confirm it more from now?
I'd like to get readings with the ray gun. I mean, honestly, as old as he is, that might still kill him. But if we got readings with the ray gun, it might give us some more data.
Yeah, the sheriff said something about. Oh man, when you went into the courthouse, did they have a metal detector?
They did not. They should have. But the sheriff walked in with me, so he might have taken me through a side entrance. The other thing is they got to have another town meeting, and he can't send his secretary anymore.
Yeah, an emergency one, because there's a fire at the last one.
There was a fire at the last one. That's a better idea.
Emergency town meeting, walks through a metal detector that's also a alien detector.
Yeah. And you can be there as Mr. Braxton's stand-in, because obviously he designated you as like a substitute for him before that happened. So you can be in the room.
Yeah. That was a nice guy. Oh, wait, no. The alien was the one that gave me moonshine.
The alien was the one that gave you moonshine, and then ate a lady.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he did.
Ate a witch.
Yeah, a witch isn't a lady.
Sam's got a problem with witches.
So,
Lousy with them.
I think that we should go put this plan into action. Let's go talk to the sheriff and the guys at the green box. Oh, we don't need to talk to the guys at the green box. We can just use that as I need a radiation suit.
Yep. Let's go. I'll call the sheriff up.
Bring.
Hey, sheriff.
Hey, it's pretty late. What's going on there, Heron?
We need another emergency town meeting because there's a fire at the last one.
I could probably get one for tomorrow morning.
We need Ivan Gorza to walk through a metal detector.
A metal detector?
Wink, wink, metal detector.
There's a metal detector at Town Hall.
Husky gives you a little elbow. We don't have to do it like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we just need him to be there. Also, Coleman appointed me as his emergency town council fill-in.
Really? Well, how'd that go?
It was his last die-in wish.
Oh. Was he,
Yes.
infected? He was. Okay.
Yep.
So he's been taken care of then, right?
He is no longer with us. He is no longer in this plane of existence.
Oh, that's good to hear. I think I'm kind of concerned about how you said that, but okay. I think I can get. You just need Ivan Gorza to get into a room with you. I mean, without. Do you want his security there?
Well, we could do it either way. But we could just be there examining the building for, fire damage, and that's why we totally have to be in those special suits with the special scanner. And if he happens to get scanned.
Okay. We can do it that way, so you want to do it at the town hall, or you want to... Why don't you ride with me in the morning? We maybe just pull over his limousine and fucking scan him on the side of the road. What's he gonna do? I mean, he does have his private security guard. He's gonna be there. They're not gonna like that too much. I don't know. What are you gonna do about them?
That's why we were trying to have it in a small building in a small room,
As a covert thing.
Gotcha.
So we could go back to that same room where there was a fire and 2 people are now missing from, and we can do some investigating. And he's invited to aid in the investigation because he's so wealthy and he's very concerned for his lost employee.
No. Get a briefing on his lost employee? Sure. Aid in the investigation? No. He won't come to that.
You don't think maybe he's gonna get his private security team to investigate it? Maybe.
Yeah, that's what he'll do, but he won't come to that.
Right.
That's all that will do is put us in a room with his private security.
Right. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking, though.
You get him in the room as a meeting. Theo can be there either as a substitute member of the council to talk to him, or as part of the team doing the analysis of the fire damage, which is what I'll be doing, and then we get him a scan. It'll also explain why we're in special suits.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. Let me call him up, and maybe you want it now, or you want to try to do it in the morning?
First thing in the morning's fine. We've got to get home and get changed.
Okay. He hangs up. And you guys head... Where are you headed? The Haven Inn, or are you headed to the Green Box?
I mean, we can probably take an evening to, recuperate some sanity in the Haven Inn. Is there such a thing as a long rest in this game?
Yeah. You guys could... I mean, it's pretty late. But yeah, you guys could turn in at the Haven Inn, get bed and breakfasted. While you're at the Haven Inn, I think it was... No, it was Husky. The general is there. Yeah, it is going to be you. The general's there. The dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, sleeping in the bed. The bed's not made. He's been, chewing on shoes. That kind of thing.
I mean, technically, he was following Hammer around, but that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, then he's in Hammer's room chewing on shoes and shit. Hammer's not there.
Yeah. I'll make sure he's fed and he can get in and out the door, and then I'll go get my sleeps.
Okay. Heron, are you doing the same?
Yeah, I don't have any good books to read, so I'm just going to go to sleep.
You have that witch's book.
I read that witch's book, and it made me mad.
Made you mad?
Not mad, but I lost a little sanity learning about witch balls.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Do you remember what witch balls do?
You got to put them underneath of somebody's pillow, and then they're just paralyzed. Right?
You put it underneath the witch's bed. Yep, and then it paralyzes the witch. You can do all sorts of things to it.
Wait, so metagame. You've known how to deal with that witch the whole time and you didn't say anything?
I know that theoretically I can make a witch ball and lose like 6 sanity trying to find these very specific ingredients that are somewhere in the hills.
You know what else is in the hills?
Empty mine shafts.
Yeah, and petroglyphs, which I thought you would have jumped on by now.
All right, we have a. I would love those.
I know, right? It's like I put them in the game for a reason. I'm just kidding. I'm being heavy-handed right now. But you guys are asleep in each of your cottages this night when you are awoken. Like Husky, you wake up first with that crap shotgun thing that you always rig up. It goes off, and it blows the fucking leg off of some man. And you hear him scream as he tries to come through that front door. I assume that your bedroom door is closed.
Yes, I am up out of bed, pistol that was under the pillow in hand, tactical underwear on, and
Tactical underwear.
yeah. It seems like a good choice of words. I know where my token went. There we go. And I'm gonna crack that door open. Since it opens that way, I can crack it just enough and get a view of the door. What am I looking at?
So you're looking at a man in overalls, like crawling on the floor right at the door's entrance, and he's in a pool of blood. There's a black gun butt on the floor next to him, like he had a gun and he was coming in here. But your trap went off perfectly and fucking just mowed him. You didn't see it coming at all.
Coveralls. Does he remind me of some good old boys we recently put down?
He sure does.
Oh, that's a shame. I'm going to go ahead and put one in his temple.
Give me a firearms roll.
I mean, goddamn, if I miss this, it's going to be super embarrassing for Hitman. But luckily, there won't be anyone left alive to tell anyone about it. That's an 82, and my firearms is 84. I managed to coup de grace.
Oh, it's perfectly shot. You kill, like, just pow, right through the fucking head. And the redneck stops moving. You hear a commotion outside, though, and we're about to do the same thing with Theo, who doesn't have a trap on his. So, Theo, the front door of your cottage gets kicked inwards as a good old boy just rushes into the living room side of your cottage here. And you wake up to the sound of, like, that door being kicked in.
My bedroom door is not closed because I don't like closed doors and I can't sleep if there's a closed door. I immediately roll off of my bed and I'm reaching through like the bag that I have that's close to my bed and I'm trying to get my pistol out. Then I hear poosh, as a shotgun blasts the door beside me.
Next door.
And I really know, like, I need to find my gun now. And I grab it, and I'm sitting under at the edge of the bed, hiding, waiting for somebody to come into the door.
You can give me a stealth roll against his awareness. I'm going to roll that.
I rolled a 27. I have an 18 in stealth. I am not stealthy.
I rolled a 97. Durkee Icker is going to walk right past the bedroom and into the kitchen area. You hear him stomping around. The cottage is pretty small, but, like, it's older, you know.
So on
you
this
hear
turn,
the floorboards creaking.
you'd hear a second gunshot.
Yep, exactly. Pow! One swift gunshot.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then I go, okay, cool. Walls are made out of paper. I'm going to listen for the creaks. I'm going to try to shoot him through the wall. And then I hold it like right at chest level and I wait for a creak to go and I try to shoot him through the walls. Because I got the sharp bullets are going to go right through those walls.
Give me a firearms roll.
God, this is going to be so awesome if it works.
No, oh my god, this is going to be good.
Rolled a 97.
Oh no. Oh boy.
It's not a critical fail, though.
Yeah, it's not a critical fail. So you're gonna shoot through. It's gonna go through the wall. You're gonna also hear him start to scramble, and he's gonna be like, "Shit, shit!" as he like ducks and tries to hide. So now he is in a hiding position behind the kitchen counters. So yeah, he has scrambled and he's hiding now. So you hear him over there. Fuck. Shit.
Just let me know when I can get to that door.
Yeah, if I'm giving Theo one more turn, and then you can get there. You've heard the commotion.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where the cabinets are. I don't know if I'm that smart, but I would take a step into the bathroom because that's now more safer to me. And then I'm going to try to line it up so I go through these walls and get him.
Okay. Give me another firearms check.
I know where the kitchen is. I don't know. That's not aiming, though. That's a 30 out of 72.
Okay, roll your damage.
1d8 armor piercing 2. That's 3 damage.
AP2, right? Yeah. So no matter what, he's going to get hit by 2. So your bullet goes through the wall, and you hear it hit meat, and he goes, "Oh, fuck. Yeah. Fuck. I hate being shot. Oh, it hurts." And then the door's already kind of blown open. But we can have Chad Nolan step through in his tactical underpants.
Yep, the Chad steps through. He's got Kevlar boxers on, and he's got one of those tactical shirts, and he realizes this is what he sleeps in. And he's grabbed the shotgun from his trap, which is filled with Centurion shot, which is why the other guy was just gibbed. Can he see this Icker guy over top of the counters, or is he kneeling down behind it?
So give me an awareness check, and I'm going to roll his stealth officially now. It's just going to be an opposed roll. I failed it. So he's making a lot of noise.
I rolled a 59 for my alertness, which is a fail.
Okay, so you know he's in the kitchen area. You don't know... You know he's ducked down in there, basically, because he's like, "Ow, shit, I hate being shot. It sucks."
Okay, well, Centurion's a breaching round, and that's a cabinet. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing Theo is, but I am going to also call out, be like, "Theo, you alive in here?" And then you're going to hear a shotgun blast go off.
No wait for a reply.
Yeah.
Roll me a firearms check.
I actually failed that firearms check, just barely. So part of the cabinet's destroyed.
Yeah, I'm going to roll a luck roll for the redneck here real quick. It's pretty important, though, for the rest of the cottage.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you start hearing a tss from the stove area.
Oh, shit.
Ow, fuck. You guys are still shooting at me. And Durkee Icker pulls his hand over the top of the cabinets and blind fires. Pow, pow, pow. He fires 3 bullets in the direction of the front door. Let's see if he hits you at all. Oh, that was pretty good. That's a 6. That one missed. All right, so he hits you with 1 bullet. Not bad, Mr. Icker. Husky, you're gonna take 4. As a stray bullet, just lucky shot comes over the top of the countertop.
How do you recover hit points in this game?
You can get medicine checked.
Okay.
You can also like take it easy for a while.
Which is what we were trying to do when, this happened.
Damn rednecks.
Yeah. Okay. I yelled out for Theo. I haven't heard a response. So
Yeah, Theo.
You didn't shoot me. Oh, good. And I'm gonna run out to the bedroom and see you. Then he's gonna start shooting, and I'm gonna say, "Oh my goodness!" And then I'm gonna lean out and try to shoot his hand. Those.
Give me a firearms check.
82 out of 72.
Yeah, the bullet goes wild. Maybe smashes the front of the oven. All right, Chad, finish this.
I'm super tempted just to light a road flare and throw it in there. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to put a shell in this guy. He showed me where he's at, so I should be able to hit him.
Yeah, it's gonna help.
But I failed again. Holy shit! I've got an 84 in this, and I missed twice. These dice hate me. So yeah, another Centurion shot round goes off. That's number 4, including the one that hit the guy in the door.
All right. It just chunks the cabinets though, and it's like giving you
It's making holes so I can see him.
yeah, exactly, yeah, giving you sight lines through, and you can see Dirky Icker scrambling on the other side on hands and knees, and he's like, "Where the fuck? Oh shit!" All right. This back door of the cottage is going to kick open. And on the other side of it is going to be Sheriff Boone.
Oh, his timing is good.
And he holds up his service pistol and he tries to put one into Dirky. Roll these. Come on, Boone. Yeah, fuck yeah, 40. All right, so he plugs Dirky Icker. Where did that D6 go? It's 3. 6 total. Not bad. All right, so Dirky's like, he gets shot in the stomach. Sheriff comes through and he's like, "Show me your hands!" Dirky reaches for the gun and the sheriff shoots him. Dirky goes, "Okay, okay, okay." And he starts lifting his hands up. He's like, "I give up, I give up, I give up." So we're going to be out of combat time. And the sheriff's like, Kick the gun towards me, Dirky. Dirky's like, "Okay, okay." And he kicks the gun towards Sheriff Boone. And the sheriff's like, "You keep your fucking hands up, Dirky, or I'll fucking plug you again." We're going to be out of combat time.
Chad's gonna investigate that whistling noise, and assuming that it is a gas leak, he's gonna try to find the valve to cut it off.
Okay, you can absolutely do both of those things. It is a gas leak.
Only because I figure all Theo's shit would explode with the house.
All my research, like
Yeah. It's all
I'm
paper.
torn between running to the bedroom and finding you a first aid kit. Why don't we go to the bathroom and get the first aid kit?
You show up and Chad's sealing the valve, and you're like, "First aid kit," and Chad's like, "Oh yeah, I'm bleeding."
No, you're bleeding a lot.
You do a medicine check on him.
Is that no? That's not pharmacy. Medicine. I also have a 0 in medicine. I failed that.
I don't think you can actually make the check with a 0%. In this
Does
system,
it not have a little percentage next to it?
There's a first aid percent.
There you go. First aid.
First aid, I rolled a 37 out of 35. I'm going to spend 2 luck and
There you go.
Oh, thank
Use
you.
that luck. Awesome. So roll me a d4.
4.
You get 4 back, buddy.
Sweet. That puts me right at what I was before when I wanted to take a long rest.
It's almost like it never happened. Durkee's like, please, don't kill me. Oh, man, I'm really bad at this. I don't like getting shot. Can you maybe get me some help too, please?
I have one shotgun shell left.
Oh, no.
I'd like some information about the pighead cult.
Can I go to the hospital first?
I mean, hospital. I just lay back right down. I'll help you up.
I've been shot a couple times now, and it hurts really bad. I'd like to go to the hospital, please.
Just lay back down. Lay back down. It'll be all right. Let me do some first aid on you. And then you'll feel better. Then we can talk, and then you can head to the hospital. Right, Sheriff Boone?
He shakes his head no, but Durkee doesn't see it.
Yep, Sheriff Boone says you're headed to the hospital. As soon as we do a little first aid here, get you feeling a little bit better, and we have a conversation about the pig-headed cult.
Chad is sitting on the counter. He has racked the shotgun, and the one shell he has left, he's like spinning it like a coin between his fingers.
What do you want to know? This hurts really bad.
Let's see if this fixes it. I rolled a 67.
Almost a 69. So that didn't help him at all, huh?
No, I don't. But I still like smile and say, like, that should feel better, right? As I'm just like digging a finger into his wound, going, I'm pretty sure there's not a bullet in there, right?
No, it hurts. Oh shit. He starts screaming.
So the pigheads, do they know about the asteroid coming? Or are they calling the asteroid?
Oh my god, it hurts. And he's screaming and he's like, please help me. He sounds almost piggy-like when he starts to squeal. It hurts.
I take my finger out of the hole. Is that how about now? That clearly feels better.
It took your mind off the pain.
Okay, so through this torturous interrogation, he does mention the Red Star and that it is coming to cleanse the earth, and you with it, you unbelievers.
How many more of your cousin, brother, sister, uncles are coming?
All of them. Fuck you.
That's not a number. You hear the shotgun shell get racked back inside the shotgun.
The Red Star is incoming, and the Hollow God will cleanse the earth.
So, what is your part in that whole thing?
I was sent to kill you because you've been hurting my kin.
Can you set up a meeting with the Red Lady?
He stares at you like, yeah. I mean, he could maybe, but I was shot.
62. So I just empty a tube of Neosporin into his empty wound.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you what. You tell me what I want to know there, Durkee, or I'm going to let him keep doing first aid on you.
It hurts so much. Please stop him. Oh, God. I thought it was first don't do no harm. Oh.
He's not that kind of doctor.
There's also no such agreement. Okay, so you're gonna torture him. He's gonna keep mentioning like it's the Hollow God that he worships every day, and it makes him stronger. And I mean, a normal person probably would have passed out in pain by now.
So,
in all honesty,
when you worship him, is there like an altar or a place you go? Or do you just do it at home?
There's the church, and we also go to ritual sites, Two Oaks, and then there's like the lumber mill, and we've been there a bunch, and that's, oh God, it hurts. Fuck.
I pull a little like shopping list note off the fridge, give him a little pen, and be like, make a list.
He has really hard time writing. But yeah, he'll make a list of places that he can remember.
I hand it to
pig farm.
Yeah, I hand it to Theo because he's better with shit like that, and I'm like, see if any of that helps. Are you done with him?
You have a bloody list.
I got one more question. Do you miss Janie?
Janie.
Or Gertie? No. I would care more about Janie. Do you know that she's missing? I rolled a 48, so that's better. So I'm just wrapping gauze way too tight.
Janie's one of the old ones. I think that's who you're talking about. Black haired, right?
Well,
yes.
Not anymore.
Very pretty.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's one of them witches. Yeah, one of our witches, I guess you could say. Anyway, what do you mean not anymore? Oh fuck, you killed her too.
Don't worry about that too much. Theo, you good?
One more question. Is
I'm gonna fucking die. I'm not answering this question.
No, this is the best one. Is who's the rich guy that we're investigating? Igor.
Ivan Gorza.
Ivan Gorza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he? Does he worship at your same cult?
Half the town does. I mean, more than half. We've been doing it for ages, since before I was born. The whole town.
I rolled a 33, so that's a critical success. So I actually give him some Tylenol.
That'll help so much here in his last moments.
I say, wow, that's actually kind of helpful. And then I say, here's some Tylenol. That should help with the pain. I think the sheriff is ready to take you to the hospital now.
Oh, wait. I have one more question.
Oh, Chad's got a question. One question. Like he's got one shotgun shell.
Mm-hmm. Any last words?
Oh, this place will be cleansed.
Good last words. And then I shoot
fire.
There's now brain matter all over your cabinet, but it doesn't matter because there's a bunch of holes in it. I don't think this kitchen's usable anymore.
Yeah, and it's perfectly timed for Brandy Pocock to show up from all the shooting. She comes around the backside. Not Clayton Boone.
That's a brave lady. Hear all that gunfire.
Yep, and she's if you want to human, you can see why she can show up like this.
66.
77. I did not pass.
Is that a critical failure for you then?
Yeah, that's a critical failure for me.
I critically succeeded.
So Theo's looking out at Sheriff Clayton Boone and sees Brandy Pocock walk up. Chad, you're looking at the dead body of Durkee Icker when she screams. It kind of startles you a little bit. You end up like swinging on her with your gun. You don't aim, you aim at her but not shoot at her because she's behind the sheriff, to be honest. But she's like, "Sheriff, oh my God, what's going on here?" And the sheriff's like, "There's been a break-in, Brandy. Why don't you come with me? My boys will handle this. My detectives." And he looks at you and winks. And he's like, "Brandy, let's go over here. Well, I'll get you a drink." And Brandy's like, "Oh, okay." All right, so you guys can finish all that up.
Chad looks at Theo. Do you remember seeing a well around here?
There might be a well.
Yeah, he grabs the feet of Durkee Icker and starts dragging him out towards.
You've got one in your house too, right?
Half of one. I'm gonna need you to get the top half.
The doors are open.
Yeah, the doors are open.
Okay, I can do that.
They've all been kicked open.
Hey, what was what did Theo see with this human ant? He got a critical success.
Oh, she was high. Like, super high.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Totally tracks. Anyway, so we dump these bodies in the well.
Okay. So you throw the body over, and there's no splash at the end. It just disappears into the darkness.
Mm-hmm. It's probably not in service anymore. It's probably dry at the bottom. It's a mining town, so it's probably disgusting down there.
Can we count the time when we throw the second one over? There's got to be a thud, right?
I mean, if you wanted to do that bad, we could just drop a flare in there. I got to put some pants on, man.
Big gold.
All right, you go put some pants on. I'm going to do some science experiments. I've got a nice like flannel set of pajamas because it's kind of cold out in the mountains.
So Chad goes inside to put some pants on. You've already thrown Dirky Icker over. And Theo, you're about to crack this flare. And you're looking down the well. And for a split second, you see eyes blinking at you. Like the soot-covered eyes that you saw from the laptop screen last episode. They're staring up at you. And it seems like they're a million miles away, and it also seems like they're right there at the edge of the shadow. And it takes you a little while to thumb the top of the flare off. Like, so long that Chad already has put pants on and has come back, and you're still standing there, like, fingering the top of the flare.
Do you not know how to use that, Theo? Here, let me see that thing. Hey, are you all right?
I look in and I try to see those eyes again.
I've struck the flare and I've dropped it down the well.
I rub my eyes because I was like looking into the deep, deep darkness, and that's surprisingly bright.
Yeah, after your eyes kind of adjust a little bit more, you look back down the well and expect to see like either a flare dropping or a flare already hitting water or a flare, somewhere. But it's just darkness.
Oh, that's weird.
And he tosses the other body in and walks away.
I'm not going to be that nonchalant about it. I am genuinely intrigued that flare didn't show something. I mean, if it fell and just fell far enough that I lost the light, I'd just be like, that's really effing deep. But if it just disappeared, that's weird. I wonder if these guys climbed out of that well.
The Dirky Icker guys?
Yeah, I mean, we know that they are part of the cult that worships the thing. We know the whole area is littered with mining tunnels. It makes sense that they'd have a ritual site and that the locals would know those tunnels. They did manage to show up with firearms right here at the inn. I'm going to look around and see if they have trucks anywhere around.
You do not see the green trucks that is normally associated.
Yeah, so how the hell did they get here? Did they walk?
Do you want to go into the well?
Not really. Not until I get a full night's sleep.
Oh yeah, we do have to rest.
Really tired. Got a meeting in the morning. Might be important.
Can we have a big old boulder and put it over top of it?
Disused wells normally do have covers. Is there a cover for this? And was it on the well when we walked up to it?
Yes, this well was covered.
Was it? It was covered when we walked up to it.
Yeah, when you walked up to it. But
Okay.
The cover is easy to take off and on, which you find out when you put the cover back on.
Oh. Yeah, maybe. It's worth looking into in the future, but maybe not right this second. We might want to get some reinforcements from G-Cell before we start exploring crazy, super dark tunnels.
Yeah, like maybe there's just a black t-shirt and it went through it real fast and that's why we couldn't see it. Yeah. I like that idea.
Okay, now I'm going to throw this other body in there. Yeah. And my guy's going to try to get some sleep. He's going to re-rig his shotgun and like prop the door back up as best he can.
Okay. And you're going to stay the night here at the inn?
Yeah. I mean, my room's mostly intact.
I'm going to go into his room and have a cup of coffee and sit in the living room.
You can crash on my couch. That's fine.
Right.
Just don't try to go out the door. We've had this talk before.
I don't remember that.
Very first day we were here.
I had a lot of moonshine. I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. So you sit there. I handcuffed you to that chair so you wouldn't accidentally trigger the shotgun. I remember that now.
I woke up in a bathtub.
Something like that. Notebook.
Then you say good night and close the door, and I go, ah! Oh, I can't go in there.
You left the snacks in your kitchen.
Oh, those snacks aren't there anymore. I go get some research, maybe about some local petroglyphs, and I read that until the morning comes.
So you stay up all night?
I mean, not all night. I doze off a little bit, but I can't get a good night of sleep.
Okay. It's good to know. I think we should wrap up there, because it's pretty close to midnight. Mm-hmm. And instead of starting a whole new string, we can start with a whole new day next episode.
And I can roll up my stuff because we're getting a long rest, right?
Yeah, you can use the skills from this.
Okay, so we can.
We did that last episode.
We did.
Now you have a target, Ivan Gorza. You have dangerous ladies that you have to follow up with.
We made an incredible moral decision to just let him eat that lady.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'll never come back to haunt us.
So you might have an observer helping you out. What happens?
Maybe.
If that thing shows up, are you going to tell Hammer about your deal with the aliens?
I mean, we're going to have to.
Yeah.
He's just
wonder how he's going to feel about that.
Abduct the three of us, and he's going to just blast it. Hey, Braxton, nice to see you again. Bam!
I'm Braxton Coleman.
So, how many hit points do I get back?
Oh, from the rest?
Yeah.
I believe it's very few. Let's go ahead and just call it a D4.
Okay. And when I fail the roll, so when you do your X mark, if you fail the roll, you add something to it. Is that also a D4?
That is also a D4.
Okay. So 4 hit points back. More than I need 4 of those back. Oh, I rolled good twice. Look at that. 8. Brings me up to full hit points. Alertness. What do you want?
Bring these guys on you at the Haven Inn for the last 2 sessions. In the last 2 sessions, you guys have been like, we're going to stay at the Green Box. I was like, damn it. I want these rednecks to attack them. You did go with your shotgun trap.
I like my shotgun trap.
Shred somebody. Somebody that's not prepared for it. Bummer.
Okay, that's all my stuff. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah? Theo, how you feel about making a deal with an alien?
Theo's excited. He's pretty sure that alien is good and is going to come back and just be helpful.
You know they're trying to destroy the Earth, right?
I know they're trying to ascend their species and want to invite humans along.
That could be good. That could be good.
Mm-hmm.
But Theo also like saw their entire existence, and like from the birth of a amoeba like a species to the full grown species that they are. He's got a like unfound because he couldn't like process that quickly, so he just immediately said, "Oh, cool! Clearly, like he shared this with me on purpose, and they're not that bad."
Oh man, I'm gonna construct a dream for you. Yeah, unlock some memories.
And Leo was reminded that there are petroglyphs in the mountains and wants to go look at the old witch drawings.
Yeah, that's a good thing to follow up with. Try to find anyway.
All right. So,
And he wants to go walking in the old caves without shoes on so he can sense where the power is.
That's
so
so much fun.
next week we'll be back with Traveler, and we should be back on our regularly scheduled programming. And for all those following on the stream, I will see you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.